Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios. Landon Schmidt producing for us. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours. A lot to get to this afternoon. They're playing basketball out in Las Vegas. Teams are giving out extensions around the NBA. We got to talk baseball. Already 2 games final this afternoon. We have college football news. A little bit of everything this afternoon. But Brett, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Brian. When is the Bronny game for the big money ticket?
Tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN. The big 4 letters.
Are we beaming there?
Oh yeah, if you want me to go ahead and tell you where I'm beaming, that's where I'm beaming tonight.
$2,000 front row.
Well, with the beam machine, I don't think money's an issue.
What's cash?
Yeah, I think you can just beam to whatever spot you want to be there. And I don't know if I would choose, even if money was an option, if I would choose the courtside tickets. But I'm a beam there tonight. That's gonna be where I'm at.
Bronny versus Cooper Flagg. Who you got?
I'll take. Is this like a one-on-one? I'll take Cooper Flagg in a one-on-one of Bronny versus Coop.
Bronny one-on-one against Dalton Connect.
I'll take. I might take Bronny in that one.
Bronny one-on-one against Cedric Coward.
Give me Cedric Coward. Long defensive. Honestly, Dalton Connect, I don't know if you saw what he did in his first summer league couple of games, and that shooting was awful. I mean, it was not there at
broken.
all. Oh, I mean, it was horrible. It was. I mean, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like 3 for 20 or something like that.
That's
the
broken.
Field. I mean, that is as bad as it gets for someone like that. So
that's a quick percentage.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to have a big Vegas. Yeah, no, that is a quick percentage.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have to have a big Vegas, and I guess all eyes will be on Bronny James tonight. Which again, you asked the question yesterday. I don't know why we're still doing the Bronny James thing. I think he's a fine player. I don't think he's an NBA player. No. But I guess it sells tickets.
We'll play along.
Well, but everyone's really watching for LeBron James. I mean, that's the big thing. Is
and what of it at Summer League?
Yeah, who cares?
It's a little bit like I don't like a lot of the things around the All-Star game,
sure.
But it's meaningless.
No,
and
it is.
We've gone out of our way to make it more meaningless.
Yeah.
So let's continue.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is weird because I mean, usually the kind of marquee first day game is number 1 pick versus number 2 pick, and they've kind of bucked that this year to go number 1 pick versus Bronny James. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conversation about Bronny. There's going to be a lot of conversation about LeBron and kind of what this offseason has been for him and the future of him and the Lakers and maybe a potential different team. I mean, there'll be a lot of storylines about that tonight, and that's certainly gonna be is the reason that they're doing it. It creates a lot of talk.
One-on-one, Bronny James or P.J. Haggerty?
I'll take P.J. Haggerty.
All day.
Take P.J. Haggerty. Defense optional, though, in that one, which can make it.
But size matters.
It does, but, I mean, Bronny's pretty athletic. But
is he?
No, yeah, he's pretty athletic. But,
Bronny or Curtis Givens?
I'll go Bronny against Curtis Givens.
I'll take Curtis Givens.
Okay. Nothing against Curtis Givens, but I'd take Bronny in that one. But hey, that's why we play 5-on-5 and not 1v1, I guess.
Bronny or Ashton Hardaway?
I'll take Bronny in that one.
I'm not so sure.
Well,
I'm really not.
I'll be honest.
There's very few I'd take him over.
He's
not very good.
This is almost.
He's in the league for one reason.
That is true. But I think
that's okay.
No, it's fine.
His dad's done enough.
I
think to merit that.
I think he absolutely has, and I think
he's only made them a couple billion.
Sure, I mean he's been great for the league. He's been great for the sport. He's been great for the game, and I mean he can pull some strings when he wants to. But I'll say this: And people are going to be like, well, that means you're a bad basketball player. Maybe it does mean I'm a bad basketball player. I'm not a one-on-one player. Like, I am terrible 1v1.
Team game.
You put me in a 5v5 game, oh, man, I'm
Set a screen.
I'm effective. I'm efficient. I'm grabbing boards, outlet
Help
passes.
defense.
Assists. I'm knocking
Cut
down
a
shots.
baseline off.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm knocking down shots, too. Like, I'll go out there and get you some buckets. I'm just not doing
stuff for you.
I'm just not doing it in a 1v1 game. I can take on a defender one-on-one if it's a 5-on-5 game. I can't do it if it's a one-on-one game.
I love it.
So
they're
maybe I'm
running
the
stuff
problem.
for you.
No, not really. It's a different game. It's a different game.
They're bringing you. You're not coming off a screen.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't really know what it is, Brett. I just know that I thrive in at least 3-on-3 or more than I do 1v1. So that's my game.
I know the
at
feeling.
least. Yeah,
I always liked having a partner in golf.
That's right. I mean, the more the merrier.
Preferably a single handicapper.
That's right. The better, the
maybe
merrier,
a lot better,
or whatever the saying is. Other NBA news today, because of course we're not just going to talk about Summer League. OKC throwing around money left and right.
All 3 hours on Summer League.
We can do it. There's a game going on right now.
Shouldn't we?
I was watching it before I got here.
You know what I've called Summer League?
No, what's that?
Glorified Bluff City Classic.
Well, yeah, it's close. That's a lot of guys that you will never talk about again, but it's fun and
what of it?
Yeah.
On July 10th.
Yeah, exactly. It
Doesn't hurt a thing.
Gives you something to watch. Gives
That's
you
what
something
you
to
like.
do.
Cool.
And, yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
fine by it.
No, absolutely. And so I mean, I'll be watching.
Don't demand me to be as interested.
No. That's the great point. Like, I talk about all the time. Like, I have friends that would not sit down and watch a baseball game on July 10th if it was the last thing on earth that you could do. But, I love baseball. I'm going to be sitting down tonight watching baseball, but I'm not going to force them to like it or watch it. And so, yeah, if it's your thing, go for it. If it's not, then don't worry about it. Not the end of the world.
High hard one of the two.
Okay.
Wimbledon or Tour de France.
Oh, jeez.
You have to watch one of the two.
Wimbledon. That's easy. Yeah, I've never watched the Tour de France.
Bike ride around France for me, if nothing else, for the vistas, the villages.
Sure. No, it's beautiful to see.
Maybe best drone.
Yeah, that's really good.
Shots out there.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen like clips of it, but I've never sat down and watched it.
I think it's going on right now, isn't it?
Is it really?
I think so.
No way.
I think bike ride around France, and it also encompasses other countries. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that.
I love it when Zany bike ride around France leaves France.
Hey, it's a little strange, but
and I think it's part of the collusion of about right now is we know next week's British Open, or as they like to call it, Open Championship,
that's right.
And right in here, I think's the Running with the Bulls in Pamplona.
Really? Interesting. So it says the Tour de France spans from July 5th to July 27th.
Oh, it's just really getting started.
Yeah, so it's really, really, really heating up. It's a long bike ride.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a month-long bike ride. Yeah, I don't know. I've never watched it.
A lot of skin off the elbows too when they wreck.
Yeah, well, that is true. The wrecks are something to watch. Where can I watch the Tour de France?
Through the years, does NBC Sportsnet still exist?
Like that's the only one that I know
but is it still out there?
Well, no, but like Peacock and stuff like that would be kind of more USA. Every now and then we'll jump in there. Let's see. Let me go to Peacock and see what they've got on here.
And check while you're there at the Google machine. Like I can't get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get the same apparatus you have. What about Running with the Bulls?
Yeah,
it's got to be somewhere right now.
Let's see. Let's check out the Bulls.
Would you ever do that?
Absolutely not.
Not a chance.
Not.
There was a time in my life I thought I would, and then not a chance.
Yeah, even when I was in better shape, I don't think I ever wanted to go run.
Don't know how it's going to end, but I know I can prevent one way of it ending.
I don't want to be a part of it.
Being
however
impaled
it
by Toro.
That's right. However it starts, however it ends, I don't want to be a part of it. Yeah, you can watch the Tour de France on Peacock.
There you go. But I don't have a Peacock.
Wake up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and watch the Tour de France.
I'm sorry, pass.
I'll pass on
everybody
that.
enjoy.
I'm not going to live tweet that.
No.
Please do. No, can you please?
No,
that'd be great.
I'm not waking up at 5 to watch.
The public so demands it.
They do. That'd be amazing.
I feel the demand growing.
The third bike rider just passed the second. Oh,
I have
boy.
Peacock, too, so that's the thing.
You do have Peacock.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm peacockless.
Yeah, it looks like the it looks like the running of the Bulls.
Is that what's on Peacock? Is the running of the Bulls?
No.
Pamplona.
No, I'm just looking. I can't really find a date, but it looks
Wait,
like
then what's on Peacock that you just
Peacock's the
mentioned?
Tour de France.
Oh.
Come on, man.
More commonly referred to here as the bike ride around France.
Yeah, the leisurely bike ride.
We,
That
we don't need
is
all
also
the
a race.
affectation.
How about this?
Right.
As part of a 9-day festival,
Ooh.
July 6th through the 14th. So it is
Right
going
now.
on
Right now,
Wow,
yeah.
how about that?
I knew they all.
How about that? I didn't know that. All
I
right.
would go. I would go watch Tour de France.
Yeah.
If I'm there, I don't know if I'd go just for that, but if I'm there and they're riding their bikes by me,
Yeah, if I'm in
I
France
would
and I
watch.
got nothing to do.
But if I was
maybe.
in Paris on the big finish up Champs Elysees, I definitely would.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I would go watch the Bulls, but no participating.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can even watch it.
Again, just not exactly how I want to go.
No, certainly not.
Probably wouldn't go.
no.
Probably wouldn't happen. But I can remove that chance.
Yeah, no, I'll pass on it.
But a friend of mine sent me his son skydiving last week in Colorado. Great.
Yeah.
At 17,
Yeah.
knock yourself out.
Landon jumped out of a plane a month ago, didn't you?
You did?
I sure did. Yeah,
Yeah.
went
Was it
skydiving.
about to go down?
no,
You voluntarily got on an
Voluntarily
airplane,
got
jumped
up.
out of it?
Signed a waiver and
they
everything.
voluntarily flew me up. Oh yeah, the instructional video was great. They were sitting there saying, you could die, it could
Okay.
be terrible,
Okay.
but hey, the thrill.
But
And
adrenaline!
I was
Okay.
like, all right, well, this is it.
I've never even been on a plane, so I certainly am not jumping out of one.
You've never flown?
No, Brian had.
flown.
I knew
Wow.
that.
Never flown. You know,
Scared of heights or something?
Very.
Oh, well, there you go.
But that's not necessarily the only reason.
I'm not, but I'm not going to jump out of a plane.
No, I'm not going to jump out of a plane either.
It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna cliff dive in Acapulco or anywhere
keep
else.
that in that room.
Oh, well, okay. Oh, well.
Brett, I don't know how to dive, and I was on a swim team
Nope.
for a year, and they tried to teach me how to dive, and I refused. And so every race, I would get the stance was beautiful off of the whatever they call it, and then right when they fired off the gun,
strong, yeah.
and then I'd just tuck my legs in, I'd
Yeah.
cannonball in, and then I'd get to swimming.
Yeah.
I only swam like 2 events
They
like
won't
with the
make
team. No, I wouldn't. I mean, I was long enough though that I was never last, which was good. Also not a strong
A lot of
swimmer.
people love going diving.
Yeah, no.
I'm not doing it.
Not for me. Not for me.
I did the sky variety.
I'm not an adrenaline junkie.
My
like you are.
adrenaline's 240 south
Yeah.
at 605 leaving
Right.
here.
Yeah, well,
That's all I need.
You know what? That's it's good enough for me.
Depending on the evening, that'll do it
It's-
for
That
you.
it's-
will,
It's
that
a
will
contact
work.
sport a lot of
I
nights.
guess so.
It really is.
Bob and weave, I guess, almost like NASCAR at times. But no, yeah, I'll tune into the Tour de France tomorrow if it's
All right, I'll live tweet
it's
it.
going. Yeah, don't. That sounds. I don't even want to have.
I'm not gonna wake up early.
We do want live tweeting from the running the Bulls, though.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We
Good
got
luck.
a TV carrier for the
No,
Bulls.
no. Good luck finding that one. I think.
I'll
maybe
figure
find
something
it.
out.
It used to
Maybe
be
find
one.
it. Really?
Yeah, you could catch it on.
Wow. Okay. Well,
something.
I will pass on that. I don't even know if I'd want to watch that. That just seems painful.
I don't know how to live tweet that. Did
Bull just got one.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bull claimed another victim. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bull won.
Little macabre. Isn't it?
Start like tallying the bulls and like how many
Bulls
people they
1,
get.
human 0.
Exactly.
I don't know, something
I
like
don't
that.
know. I don't know, but yeah, this guy's running real fast. He certainly don't want to get got by the
A
bulls.
friend of mine just texted me. Ben Healy was plus 2,200 to win stage 6 in the Tour de France and predicted to win by rouleur.com.
All right.
Said he was going to put $10 on it, but then didn't, and he won.
Wow. That's
Another example of you
one of
can't
those.
win if you don't play.
a great point. That is a phenomenal point. I'll be honest. I didn't know you could bet on the Tour de France.
Now you're interested.
Not really.
Still not.
I don't know if I could bet. I saw Keith Smith the other day. I think it was maybe before Summer League started. I don't know when it was. I saw the tweet the other day, but he was like, if you're betting on the NBA Summer League, like, you know, maybe you shouldn't.
I need to check on a lot of things.
Maybe you shouldn't.
but that's okay too if you want to.
Sure. No, Brett, I'll be completely honest. Yeah, here it is. It was a day ago. I've gotten 4 different emails today with lines, odds on Summer League games and championships. If you're gambling on Summer League, you have a problem and need to seek help. I'll be betting. Here's the thing, Brett.
If it's more than you have
That's
and it
true.
puts you into any
true.
distress, whether it's Super Bowl 60 or NBA Summer League,
right.
it's really
That's right.
dumb.
It really is. I'm going to amend his tweet just for me personally, Brett. If you see me betting on the Summer League, don't bat an eye. If you see me betting on like foreign, I bet on
Soccer.
I bet on soccer all the time. I bet on Korean baseball over the weekend. I was up late.
Okay,
it was
cool.
on. Bet it.
No
Don't
judgment here.
Don't bat an eye. Brett, if I start betting on the Tour de France, tell me I have
There might be a problem.
Like, tell me I need help.
I don't think it would be.
No, Brett. I'm telling you, if you
unless-
see me betting on the Tour de France, tell me I have a problem.
Unless you said, Brett, this bet is the key to buying Melinda's engagement ring. Then I'd go, Bryant, I think there's an issue.
Yeah, because I don't know the first thing about bike riding. Like, I can try to act like I can figure out.
It's a marathon.
Baseball or like soccer.
I know everything
or
about bike riding. You get on, start pedaling.
I can't.
Isn't that the key to bike
Water
riding?
and breathing is necessary too.
Even if I'm betting on the overwhelming favorite in the Tour de France, I'm just throwing away money because I have
Last
no
time you were on a bike.
idea.
Last time you've been bike riding.
Probably
Either y'all.
like a year
I
ago.
took a stationary cycling class at Memphis.
Okay.
Does that count?
Okay. I get on the stationary bike at the gym. Does that
Well,
count?
Is that a junior level class?
It was a physical education class.
that?
It was
PE.
fun. The teacher asked if I wanted to be an
I
instructor.
took coaching football.
How about that?
Is-
That sounds like a fun class. I had a buddy who took
I'd
a
be on your
fantasy
team, Brett.
football class.
You know who my coaching football professor was?
I have no clue.
You know him well, producing
Do I?
shows.
Do I?
Coach John Thompson.
Really?
He was the GA for
Holy
Lou Holtz.
cow.
And
Wow.
he was older than me, but
Sure.
I grew up adoring him, still do, in Forest City, and he was the professor.
Wow. I would have never guessed that. That is awesome. That is good stuff. So, yeah. I think about a year ago. When's the last time you were on a bike?
France?
Last time on
Training
a bike,
for the Tour de France.
I'm going to say July of 87.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
I did not see that coming.
No, I did not either.
I can really double down and freak you out.
Please.
On my honeymoon.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, I guess
yeah.
easy to remember,
That long
but,
ago.
Yeah, that is a really long time ago. Wow. No, I did not have that. Don't ask, Landon, I don't know if you know about this. Don't ask Brett the last movie he went to go see at, like, the theaters.
That's okay. Forrest Gump, when it originally appeared.
It's a good movie.
Right.
Really
In the
sad
90s.
movie.
But that's the movie he went, that's the last movie he went and saw in theaters was Forrest Gump when it was debuting.
30,
Not a big theater guy?
Crazy.
30 years ago this
crazy.
summer, isn't
It's
it?
crazy.
95, wasn't
Not
it?
a big movie guy?
No.
No.
Don't want to put one dime in their pocket.
I'm going to the movies tonight.
What'd you going to see?
Superman.
Oh.
Well, enjoy.
I'm
not
excited.
I'm not a superhero fella. So
I go to the Carville one. They have
one.
that MXT.
I haven't been to
Christopher
that.
Reeves, not Superman?
No. I think he's a little old.
Some new fella, I think.
He-
Superman this year.
Enjoy.
He's good.
Okay.
Thank
well,
you. I
I'm gonna
will.
need you have to give us
Popcorn
a
and-
movie
popcorn
review
and root
tomorrow.
beer.
There you
It's gonna
go.
be good.
Oh, I love me a good root beer. Well, we've got plenty
I love root
things
beer,
to
too.
get in there. Root beer is fantastic, but a lot to get
Group
to.
lock on root beer?
Yes,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Oh,
it's my favorite soft drink, no doubt about it. But let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, we're going to talk some NBA. OKC handing out extensions left and right. Yesterday, we ran out of time before we could get to Chet Holmgren and his extension. Earlier today, Jalen Williams gets a rookie max.
No chest, but he got paid.
He sure did. He
Who needs a chest?
Who needs it? I mean, he showed you're. I guess you really don't need one if you're as good as he is. But his teammate Jalen Williams gets one earlier, an extension as well earlier today. Devin Booker got one last night. So a lot of extensions being handed out around the NBA. We'll talk a little bit about that in our next segment. 3:45. We'll talk some baseball. I mentioned already 2 finals today. We've got a game that's getting ready. The second leg of the Orioles-Mets doubleheader will get started here in about an hour. So a lot of baseball to get to at 3:45. 4 o'clock, Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. He'll join us to talk the NBA. 4:30, we'll get to college football. A lot to get to there with Big 12 Media Days behind us, SEC Media Days next week. And I saw this CBS Sports put out their hot seat rankings for every single coach in college football. We will get to that.
Good stuff.
Little confusing, their range. I wish it was I wish it was a little more simple, but that is okay. But we will get to that at 4:30. 4:45, we get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Michael Bratton from the SEC podcast. You probably know him as SEC Mike on Twitter. I remember the first time we had him on, either last year or the year before. You're like, we got this Michael Bratton coming on. He's knows his stuff with the SEC, and I was like, I don't think I know him. You're like, look him up, Michael W. Bratton on Twitter. The moment it popped up
with
on my
Cousin
Twitter,
Shane,
I was like, "Oh, I know exactly. I see this guy on my Twitter every single day. He is fantastic."
I'm convinced Cousin Shane's played more golf this year than Rory McIlroy has.
Good for him. Good for him. That
he
is
always
fantastic.
tweets out thoughts and prayers to cart number because Shane's a big boy.
Oh yeah, no, he is, and he's funny. He is together. Both those guys, they are really, really funny. So
last year at SEC Media Days, in mid afternoon they bring around kind of a dessert cart. And Shane was eating one, and he looked at me and goes, "You think I got this big by accident?"
Well, it's a good quote. That's really good. So we will talk a lot of SEC at 5 o'clock with Michael Bratton. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending, and at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's Crunch Time. Paul texted into our CC's Log Cabin text line, said Dalton Knecht had 25 points and 8 rebounds Tuesday night. So after 2 really poor shooting performances, bounced back 9 for 18, 4 for 8 from 3. That was the night. I did not watch any Summer League that night.
Bronny never lays a glove on him.
Yeah, I take that back. I changed my mind. After Dalton Knecht showed me he could actually do something in Summer League, I'll go back to Dalton Knecht over Bronny James in a one-on-one, which I'm sure they have that. I would love to get the film from the Lakers. I'm sure there's no chance that those two have not gone up in a drill one-on-one before.
Just in off time.
Sure, yeah, I would love to see that film.
In off time, like when Jaren wrecks his toe.
That's right. Yeah, no, something like that, or when Zach Edey messes up his ankle, something like that. I'm sure there's film there somewhere. But a lot to get to today. But before we get to top and not top story, let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Help them clear out their warehouse. All in-stock patio furniture up to 60% off, and 4-piece deep seating set only $999. Chase Lounges, buy one get one half off, and all Polywood furniture 20 to 30% off. Right now, with a dining room table purchase, get a free umbrella, and don't forget about the special financing. Available only at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We're Sports Time. We're with you until 6 o'clock, and we're always in our Family Leisure Studios. He's Brian. I'm Brett. Our producer, Landon Schmidt, and we want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. Hit us up there. This hour brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Call them at 901-334-9673, but they want you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2025 flagship LS500. You'll be looking, you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and that makes for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it's got to be the contracts that are being handed out around the NBA. And OKC giving extensions to just about everybody. All their big three is now officially locked up. Yesterday, Chet Holmgren got a 5-year rookie max that could reach $250 million. And earlier this afternoon, Jalen Williams got his 5-year rookie max that could extend to $287 million. This was Shams Charania's tweet after the deal. After becoming the second youngest team in NBA history to win a title, the Thunder now have long-term commitments from their big three in SGA, who's 26, Williams, who is 24, and Chet Holmgren, who is 23, to play together through the rest of the decade as they enter their primes. End of quote from Shams Charania. So OKC see locking up those big three. We kind of talked about this, and we'll talk about it with Keith Smith here in less than an hour about kind of what does this mean for the future, especially with the second
Evil
apron.
Empire.
And it really does feel like it with all of the first-round assets and draft picks that they have been able to stockpile. It feels like they can maybe start this revolving door of role players behind these three guys. It feels like if you have these three guys and you're able to lock them up on those rookie max deals, that you're going to be able to win for a while with those threes. We kind of talk about maybe the big three starting to fade out, starting to die in this era of the NBA, but that's more when you bring guys in and they're vets and you're trying to build that. These guys were guys that they hit on early. Obviously, SGA getting him in a trade, but Chet and Jalen Williams, they both got those guys out of the draft, able to lock them up on rookie maxes. And then last night, for the Suns, Devin Booker gets a 2-year, $145 million max extension. Big money for Devin Booker to remain with the Phoenix Suns. That's $72.5 million per year, or as Polymarket Hoops laid it out in a tweet last night, over $880,000 per game. That is incredible.
Watch Polymarket on everything.
Well, that's very true.
It tells you what's getting ready to happen.
Yeah, it really does.
Because they have cash on the line there.
Absolutely do.
That's not just for funsies.
Good for Devin Booker.
My top story, it was so glad to see and hear from Coach Deion Sanders at Big 12 Media Days yesterday. First of all, so glad he's doing so well health-wise, much better. He's had a lot of lower extremity issues post-football, a lot of circulatory stuff and some amputations. We want him doing fine. One of the greats of all time. I have him as the 5th best NFL player of all time. He could be higher than that.
Yeah,
you could argue for sure he could be higher than that. But he spoke at Big 12 Media Day yesterday. He wants a salary cap for college football. I bet he doesn't want a salary cap for college football coaches, though.
Definitely not.
And it's not going to be able to work like that. We know that. Everybody talks guardrails that are not going to happen. They can't battle the legal scrutiny. We're going to have to do something better than that. And he used the word of the year so far. He said it was all bull junk.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
And it didn't use the other words, just said bull junk.
Bull junk, yeah. I love it.
Maybe the quote of the year so far.
It's great. It's a great phrase. I'll start implementing it into my vocabulary maybe. I don't know.
Get you in a lot less trouble.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Just talk about a lot of bull junk.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day. You mentioned Deion Sanders and what he said at Big 12 Media Days, but today we learned a little bit about what will take place at the AAC Media Days here in a couple weeks, as Memphis and every other team in the conference announced who would be attending the Media Days in Charlotte. For the Tigers, obviously, we know Ryan Silverfield will be there, but the players' defensive end William Whitlow Jr. will be there, and quarterback Brendan Lewis going to be there.
There's your starting quarterback.
There's your starting quarterback. That gives you a really good idea of who will be the starter with Brendan Lewis going. Now, as you can imagine, every team in the American taking an offensive and defensive player, a lot of quarterbacks going, except for Army, who is bringing 2 linebackers to Media Days. Oh,
that's Army football.
Jeff Monken never changed. That if that doesn't scream Army and Jeff Monken, I don't know what does.
It really does. And I'm getting excited about the new quarterback. Not that we got passe about Seth Hennigan, but I like the new ahead. My not top story, Yankees looking to add a starting pitcher at the deadline. I got one, Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray to the Yankees makes sense for the Cardinals. The return, I think, has to include Ben Hess, their best right-handed pitching prospect, and Spencer Jones, their best outfield prospect. Got to get a big return for him. Don't just take a little, take a lot for him.
Yeah.
See how bad the big bad Yankees want a pitcher. Yeah. I really think the Yankees need 2 pitchers.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right. And speaking of that, I saw a story we'll get to a little bit later. Jeff Passan putting out the draft acquisitions for all of playoff contending teams. Had the Cardinals in there as who they could go out and buy. So we'll talk about that later. Getting a pitcher. So maybe. Who knows what they'll do? We talked about it with Tom Ackerman yesterday. Who really knows what the Cardinals will do at the trade deadline? But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to a break. And when we return, we'll talk some NBA.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
NST's been taking down insurance giants for over 35 years. Big firm power with hometown heart? Yeah, they don't play. It's that combination that has helped them win billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its community and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's still busy out here on all the major outbound routes for this time of the afternoon. Right on schedule, actually, south of Memphis. It's picked up on 55 down through DeSoto County. 240, no surprise to see it already building over here passing Mill Branch as you make your way on 240 on to 385 Illinois Parkway. Looks good right now. Headed on out towards Collierville. Weimer's Jewelry, serving Memphis for over 40 years. Go by and see them and shop local. You'll save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios. We got to talk some NBA and really the story of the day outside of spending, a couple $1,000s to go watch Summer League basketball is the couple of thousands and millions of dollars that these guys are getting in extension money.
Any prop bets on who outscores?
Oh, Brett, are there prop bets in Summer League? Oh, forget the extensions.
Cooper Flag straight up versus Bronny?
Yeah, I don't know if they have that. But they certainly have like points. And
what's Cooper Flag's points tonight?
Let's take a look. Where's that game?
Might make Summer League a little more interesting,
yeah,
eh?
No, it definitely will make Summer League a little more interesting. I mean, look, Brett, you got different ideas about me if you think I'm too good to bet on props in Summer League.
There's profit everywhere.
So it's like not. It's very strange how they do Summer League because it's not, as flushed out as it is during the regular season, of course. So you can't just do this player over under a certain number. They don't have that listed, but you can go on there and bet Cooper Flag 20 or more points at plus 125. You can.
How do you feel about that? For Newsmatter only, would under over?
I think he wants to make a statement tonight, so I could maybe be swayed to go over 20 points for him. But Cooper Flag's also very comfortable.
May want to make a statement.
Yeah,
but DBA Dallas Mavericks may not.
What do you mean?
They may just want to run up and down the court a couple of times.
Well, that's true. They definitely could, but
get a few shots up.
Yeah,
good sweat going.
It could, but I could see him. I could see him having a good game. The only thing though is that Cooper Flag is very comfortable, not just being a straight up scorer. Like he's a great defender.
He goes to Summer League to play
rebounding
defense.
Exactly. But
that's the Bluff City.
Sure. But what I mean is like he is very comfortable not being just a scorer. So he might just kind of hang out there. So I don't know.
The last night I ever went to Bluff City Classic, Dwight Stewart played at Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Pretty bigger player. He got the ball. It was inbounded to him. Right under the other team's goal. So he had 94 feet. He goes 94 feet, and nobody ever turned him one time.
Holy cow.
I said, that's it.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Yeah. Well, while you were saying that, Brett, I bet on Cooper Flag to have 20 or more points.
To go over, huh?
Yeah.
Good luck. I'll be pulling.
I did. How about this? Dalton Connect. You can bet on him to score 20 or more points at plus 162. You can bet on him to score 15 or more points at minus 220.
I like the 15. Where are you leaning?
Those are terrible odds. I can't bet that for him at 15. I can go over 17.5 at plus 102.
What's Bronny?
9.5.
9.5.
9.5. What'd Bronny do in the LA Summer League? Let's see.
I don't have it at the ready.
Golden State Summer League. I don't remember what that Summer League was. Bronny James Summer.
I've watched 0 seconds.
Stats. Let's see.
I may watch tonight. Pulling for your bet.
2 games. He's averaging 6 points.
Yeah, thin stat line so far.
Yeah, maybe go under that.
Yeah.
All right, just bet Bronny James under 9.5 points.
These type bets, these prop bets, that would be all over an app, not brick and mortar.
I don't know. I would assume probably not.
In Sin City, if you walked
I'm sure
up
you probably could.
wanted to put $500,000 on Bronny going over.
You probably could. I mean, nowadays a lot of those casinos are tied in with the sports book, so it's pretty pretty fluid there. So I would expect you probably could
with apps.
But I'm sure you could go in there and probably do it brick and mortar as well. Cooper flagged just his line. 'Cause my other app I was on first, you could not do over unders. It was just 20 or more points, 25 or more points, 30 or more points. They have Cooper Flagg's line set at 17.5. So, okay. So him and Dalton Connect both set at 17.5. Bronny James at 9.5. So big night for me now. I didn't know I'd be betting on player props.
I'm already more interested.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one way to make it more interesting, I guess.
My interest went from 0 to
like 5%.
Well, no, I would say 1 to 10 to about a 4.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So not necessarily 5%, but close. In the ballpark, I guess.
Good increase. Yeah.
Yeah, but ESPN, big 4 letters tonight. You can watch Bronny James versus Cooper Flagg.
I'll watch baseball.
I will probably watch a lot of baseball, but now I have to watch this game. I mean, I was going to watch it at least, have it on a television or on a screen.
When are you going to AutoZone Park? Aren't y'all going?
Sunday. Sunday we are going.
Cardinals big phenom up.
That's right. Yeah, JJ
got off to a good start last night.
Looked good last night. I was watching a little bit of that last night. Ivan Herrera is making his rehab
$5 tickets, $2 brews tonight.
That's right. Yeah, it's a good deal. I will not be going tonight though. I'll be going Sunday.
What's the $2 brew? Do you have any idea?
I think it's
usually Pabst, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's that's exactly what it is. I believe.
Ooh, boy, that's pure swill.
Yeah. No, that's. But so this was back 3 years ago. Whenever I was covering the team, and I walked down one night for something. I forgot why I walked down. And ran into one of my buddies, and he was like, dude, we're all here. And I was like, what do you mean we're all here? He's like, 5 of us are here. And I went down to say hello to all of them, and I mean, it was just piled high. I mean, they were having a good old time.
Actual cans?
Well, no, because I think what they do
I see some line up the cans.
Yeah, well, but I think for this night, you get like a cup of it. Like, I don't think it's an actual can. I think it's like a cup. And so they just had the cups just like all like in a pile. Okay. And, yeah, they were having a good time. So
good.
I was like, good for you.
And see,
that's right.
The guy's going to turn the Cardinals around.
See Weatherholt.
No pressure.
Herrera, no pressure at all. He's just been flying through the minor league system, and now everyone has eyes on what's going on with the Memphis Redbirds just to see what J.J. Weatherholt's doing.
I remember Kobe Rasmus doing that too.
Yeah. There's a list, Brett. I mean, there are several. There are several in the last couple of years that all eyes were on Memphis to see what can this guy do next.
I know we're supposed to be talking about NBA. Isn't that what got John Mozeliak is the drafts?
Yeah.
Isn't that what usually gets GM types?
Yeah, and I mean it's so tough in baseball. I mean you can understand with NBA or NFL, it's you draft them and you immediately plug them in the next year. But with baseball, it's such a long process.
And the sports fan now is so smart. I mean, they can go look at that 2019 draft, and you took this player that did nothing, and then 5 picks later, some player that's been to a couple All-Star games, and that gets these guys.
It's awful. I mean, because every draft has something like that where it's this player that went at this position, and you look 3, 4, 5, 6 spots down, and it's
why didn't you get him?
Yeah, it's Giannis or something like that, and you're like, you could add Giannis, you could add James Harden, whoever it is. And I
think Mike Trout was in that neighborhood for the Cardinals 1 year.
Yeah. Nah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. But it's just so different in baseball.
Maybe a Shelby Miller draft, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, just so.
And then when you miss with pitching.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is definitely the big one. But I mean, heck, half these guys are in the draft. I mean, they're high school players. I mean, what is your certainty that a high school, all these high school phenoms are going to pan out and become a big-time major league player? I mean, there's just no telling, really.
I'll give you one. Give me everything you got on Brian Taylor.
Got nothing.
Can't miss. Number 1 to the Yankees.
Nothing. Yeah.
Got in a altercation. The other person threw him down on his pitching shoulder.
Ooh, yeah.
Never heard from him again.
It's no fun. No fun at all. But I guess it's... I guess that happens. I don't know. I've never heard something like that, but I guess for him, what's his name again?
Brian Taylor. Lefty can't miss.
Oh man, I hate that. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen to J.J. Weatherholt. Don't slam him down on his on his throw him down on his glove hand. Don't throw him down on his throwing arm. So what do you make of these extensions for OKC?
I love it. It's the market. The money's there. Look, we're trying to divvy out $77 billion with the new TV deal. It's making money. The league's making money. The players are going to get it.
That's exactly right.
And every labor issue the players have ever had, they always want that BRI, that basketball-related income. Well, they're getting it. They should.
Yeah.
No rain, no rainbows.
That's right.
You got to have these guys.
Yeah.
And they've done it. Now, when we were doing our coma issue, we said the general theme that would be hard to explain to anybody from not that long ago, not even 15 years ago, 6, 8, 10 years ago, is how this money has gone up. It's gone up because people are that interested in it.
That's right. Yeah. No, it absolutely has. And so you're right. And look, these guys are getting it. And I love the way you have to give so much credit to the way that OKC has done this. It was
very patient.
It was a risk to go out there and trade off pretty much everything, start stacking up these draft picks, and now they've hit on a handful of them already and are able to go ahead and get those rookie extensions.
A lot of people are going to try to do that, try to emulate that. And it's not going to work that way.
No, it definitely isn't. But they've gotten lucky, and they've got 3 really good young guys that they're going to be able to keep for a while. I mean, you look at that. SGA, who just won MVP, only 26 years old. Jalen Williams, 24. Chet, 23. These all are young guys, just getting ready to even, start thinking about their prime. And they will have those guys wrapped up. And now with all these first-round picks, they can kind of start stacking these guys and start bringing in young role players and start getting those guys out of there to keep themselves with good financial, under that second apron.
They're going to have those satellite pieces because this is the primary.
Yeah,
you're going to keep rolling those in.
It's a really good core though. I mean, that's a good three-man team if depending on how you put it around it. I guess.
And they eventually will get to be the evil empire and hateable.
It feels like it. It just
winning does it.
Yeah, it does. When you win so much and you're that good, it usually comes along with it.
Next week at SEC Media Day, so many great sponsors. I want to thank our friends at East Memphis Ace Hardware. They're with us. Shop locally at East Memphis Ace Hardware at 5143 Quince and Quince Station Shopping Center, where the nice people are helpful and very knowledgeable employees. They have a great customer loyalty program that you need to be a part of. You want that old-fashioned hardware store? So many always tell me that. We have it. It's what Janelle and Jarrett Carter have built, what they've maintained. Plants, tools, lawnmowers, grills. Did I say grills? The Big Green Egg, gas grills, Traeger grills, charcoal grills, flat top grills, Blackstone, Weber. East Memphis Ace Hardware with everything you need to get cooking. Knowledgeable advice on how to choose the best grill for you. Outdoor power equipment, paints and supplies, tools. Decorate your yard for football season with all the Tiger and SEC yard decor. Outdoor living with patio furniture, coolers, all the great brands like Toro, Steel, and Milwaukee. Ace really is the helpful place in East Memphis Ace Hardware. They're the local friendly place at 5143 Quince in Quince Station Shopping Center at Quince and White Station.
Well, we need to get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk some Major League Baseball. Already a couple finals in the books. We also have got news. Brett, you mentioned salary cap earlier with college football. It sounds like Major League Baseball looking at the idea of a salary cap.
And we have a 10-year strike.
Well, yeah, no, it does not sound good. Definitely not the news you want to put out there when we already know we're getting close to a dispute. So we'll talk a lot of Major League Baseball. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections, appraisals, and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsofMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Georgetown Parkway behind Quicky's Barbecue in Cordova.
ribs.
Toes. Well, what are we playing?
I want to do a Central Barbecue spot about their fantastic ribs.
Should be easy enough. Central Barbecue has got amazing ribs.
I know that. You know that. The people probably know that. But I want to do them justice.
Well, they're slow smoked for 24 hours over hickory and pecan to give them amazing flavor.
And Central Barbecue never has sauce in the pit.
Now, I don't know what that means, but it seems impressive.
It is. I just want to make them sound perfect.
We mentioned that they're slow smoked, delicious, and we've said Central Barbecue at least 3 times. I say we call it a solid 30 seconds.
Job well done. Central Barbecue. Ribs.
Not toes.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs. 24 taps for all your beers, including $3 domestic and $5 craft pints on Mondays. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 happy hour. Music bingo Tuesdays. Daily specials and online order. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Highway 70. Check Facebook for daily specials and weekend music at the Owner's Box.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Monday through Friday, it's happy hour from 3 to 6 with $1 off all draft beers, $5 off well drinks, $4.50 for house wine, and half off pretzel bites, mozzarella sticks, queso, corn dogs, and pickles. Then enjoy Friday night lights from 7 to closing. Dine in and buy 12 wings and get 5 regular wings for free. Come watch college football and every pro game on the weekends. All at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70, where fall is football.
Spring is in the air, and it's the perfect time to grill, chill, and save with Choates. Install a new generator, tankless water heater, or Carrier HVAC system, and you'll get your choice of a free green egg grill or 36 months no-interest financing. Stay powered during storms. Enjoy endless hot water and slash your cooling costs this summer with a high-efficiency Carrier system, and grill some slow-smoked barbecue on us. But hurry, this special ends soon. And if you're dealing with plumbing or electrical problems, Choates is here for you too. Give us a try and take $60 off your repair. Leaky faucet, clogged drain, broken outlet, lights flickering? Call Choates and save $60 on your plumbing or electrical repair service. Call 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com today. And remember, Choates, let our family serve your family.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios. We got to talk some baseball. Already 2 finals in the books today.
Down go the Mets.
Oh, Landon's Mets. A 3-1 loss to the Baltimore Orioles. Now, got an opportunity to still win today. The second game of the doubleheader.
Split.
Getting ready to start here in about
Hopefully.
20 minutes.
Bad pitching that game.
In the first game?
No, today's game.
Second game.
Yeah, today's game, earlier today.
The first one today or the one that's about to start? The one earlier today?
Yeah, the one earlier.
Really?
Lost 3-1.
That was low scoring.
Low scoring, but our hitters were not hitting.
That's true.
There's a lot of people that went 1 for 4, 1 for. It was not good. But Stanecki,
yeah,
he ain't it anymore.
I was about to say that when he came in, that's when they scored all 3 of their runs.
Yeah.
Starting pitching was not bad.
Hitters got to hit.
Hitters got to hit.
And they didn't do that today.
That is a good point by you. But hey, an opportunity still get a win in the book.
It was the Tyrone Taylor game.
All Cubbies against the Twins.
What do we know about? It was a rout by the Cubs. What do we know about Brandon Waddell?
Get back to me on that.
He's your starting pitcher for the Mets today.
Yeah, that's why we need more pitchers.
I got nothing on him. I'm not familiar with Waddell.
I thought Kodai Senga was returning today. Is that later this week?
Call up.
Yeah, that might be I don't know. Kodai Senga ain't starting this. I'm looking at MLB.com. That might be
I thought I saw something that he was coming back from injury today. Man, we need him back.
Maybe he's going tomorrow. I don't know. But he's certainly not pitching.
When do we have our strike?
That's a good question.
Lockout's December 1.
That's right.
Strike is anything talking about salary cap.
Yeah, and I think this was just one report that came out, I believe The Athletic, that said that Rob Manfred is pushing for MLB salary cap.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him at all.
Probably should have been pushed by Peter Ueberroth 40 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. But I feel like that's something they want to keep very hush-hush.
What was the topic we had? And I told you the great headline. I think it was when New York wanted to be bailed out by the federal government. It said, to New York, drop dead. Well, that's going to be the same headline.
That was Thibodeau when Thibodeau got fired. And we were talking about the headlines around when he got Thibodeau is what they started calling it.
And it's going to be drop dead.
Yeah.
The Players Association will never entertain it.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, it's just it would never happen.
They will lock out and crush, or they'll strike and crush the sport before they agree to any of that.
No kidding.
Boris would not allow it.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that headline last night.
And why would you blame him when you've played him like a violin?
That's right.
For at least since we missed the World Series in '94.
Yeah, no, I have no idea, but I could see that getting brought up. After the season, we're getting closer to lockout, and this commissioner, he doesn't seem like he cares about much. So throw some fuel on the fire.
And the kind of pro management side always wants them to dig in and really go to the mat and show them who's boss and break the union. It's not happening.
No, it's definitely not happening. Not happening at all. But I guess we'll see. I'm not looking forward to December.
There will never be any contraction.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It's we're in a weird place in Major League Baseball, and it doesn't look like it's going to get much better in terms of the agreements and such going into December. You mentioned earlier about maybe the Grizzlies selling to the Yankees. Jeff Passan had a story today. Yeah, what'd I say?
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies.
Okay.
Good Lord. The Cardinals.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, I mean, Grizzlies aren't selling any baseball players. Jeff Passan had a story today, the top moves for playoff contenders, and included the Cardinals in there, had their weakness as starting pitching. Best match.
That's what Tom said just to add a pitcher.
Sure did. Best fit, a guy that's going today for the Rays, Taj Bradley.
Okay.
So I'd like that, but I don't
think that does a lot for you for this year.
No, and that's kind of what Jeff Passan was saying is, helps you a little this year with starting pitching, but
it could squeeze you in as the six.
And
you're on the road playing the 2 out of 3 against the 3.
I mean, he'd be in the rotation. He'd be a definite piece in the rotation. But
and I can't tell you who the 3 is going to be.
No, I can't either. But he is a guy that is on. You would have control over him for a while, and I think that would be the biggest thing of going out and getting him.
And Heimblum, I'm sure, knows him well.
Absolutely, I'm sure was definitely around when they.
I'm not positive the Dodgers will be the 1 seed.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think it's one of those where they're just the big
either
bad
of those
Dodgers.
2 good East teams will represent, and the Cubs.
Absolutely,
the Cubs could be the number 1 overall seed.
They could. I mean, 55-38 right now. Big win over the Twins.
Cardinals beat none of them
today.
Traveling to that 2 out of 3.
Absolutely not.
Dodgers, Cubs, Phillies, Mets.
Make no sense. And that's kind of, what we've been talking about is I don't know why you would even be a buyer or try to go improve your team at the deadline.
That really would be that feeling of losing in Dayton. Were we really in the tournament?
Were we ever even a factor?
The absolutely humiliation of going to Wrigley and getting smoked 2 games and out of it.
Yeah, so I am team get rid of guys, be a seller at the deadline. Maybe not a hard seller.
Sell everybody. Every time they lose, I want to sell everybody.
Well, after last night, that certainly wasn't fun. The only other Cardinal that was listed in that story by Jeff Passan was Ryan Helsley to the Red Sox, but did not have, with the Cardinals and the Taj Bradley, talked about the surplus of catchers that the Cardinals have in the minor league system, that they could send a couple of those to Tampa Bay or a catcher and some other things to Tampa Bay. The Helsley and Red Sox, they didn't have anything of what the Red Sox could give back to the Cardinals, which is what I really cared about. So I don't know what that would look like, but
Ted Williams?
Well, it would it'd be, I don't think it would be necessarily that, but it'd be hopefully something, and certainly the Red Sox need bullpen pitchers and back-end pitchers, but we'll see what happens. We got to get to a break. When we come back, NBA with Keith Smith.
Up your life with Lads.
Surprise the family with a new club car and experience the best golf cart in the industry. A new golf cart is perfect for cruising the neighborhood, enjoying yourself at the lake, turning heads on the course, and just having something reliable to use around the yard. Lads has you covered with new and used golf cars. The new Club Car Onward, available in electric or gas and a variety of colors and features. Lads goes beyond the green. Whitten and I-40 or online at lads.net.
Dick Steele Days are happening now. You won't want to miss our biggest sale of the summer. Scorecard members earn a $20 bonus reward on your purchase of $150 or more. Plus 3 days of amazing savings start Tuesday. Check out offers from brands like Nike, Adidas, Hoka, and Stanley. And check back daily for new one-day deals Tuesday through Thursday. Score the season's hottest savings before they're gone on July 10th. Shop in the app and on Dix.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback and hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Extraordinary events come once in a blue moon, and right now, even the most extravagant luxuries are well within reach. The one and only May sale is back at Sissy's Log Cabin, and you can save up to 50% on nearly everything in the store. This is your chance to get the service, selection, and experience that makes you feel like family at the best prices of the year, guaranteed. Don't miss the one and only May sale at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Steady flow of traffic right now on Bill Morris Parkway going outbound. It has gotten busier right when you come off 240 onto 385. Bill Morris there going outbound back towards Collierville. Trying to crank up over here on I-40 at Warford and Hollywood as it also increases in the Midtown area in a couple of spots. I-40 especially up by Chelsea. Weimer's Jewelry wants you to know they are your diamond engagement ring headquarters this bridal season. Stop by and see them this summer. You'll save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Time to talk NBA with Keith Smith from Spot Rack and the Front Office Show, and on Twitter X at Keith Smith NBA. Here's Keith Smith talking basketball with Bryant and Brett.
Keith Smith joins us now from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. He joins us every single Thursday to talk the NBA. Keith, a lot to get to today, but a lot of deals being made in terms of extensions. OKC extended Chet Holmgren yesterday, Jalen Williams earlier today, both 5-year rookie max extensions. What does this mean for the future of Oklahoma City? Getting those three guys, all three of them really just getting ready to kind of start even thinking about entering their prime. SGA certainly the closest at 26, but Jalen Williams 24, Chet Holmgren at 23. OKC being able to lock those guys up is huge, but we also know the other aspect of it with this second apron and financing and being able to pay all of these guys. What will this look like for OKC?
Yeah, they're going to be extremely expensive, really, starting next year. There's been a little bit of confusion on this. Nothing is changing up for them this year. These are all deals that will kick in, starting with Holmgren and Williams next year, and then SGA a couple years down the line. So they're in a spot where next year they're going to be dancing around that second apron. They'll probably be just below it if they keep everybody together, but they knew this was coming. When they did their off-season moves a year or so ago, when they signed as a Hartenstein, it was, all right, we're going to have about a 2-year window with him. We're going to give that big team option, and then we'll figure it out from there. They've got some other guys in the similar boat, like Lou Dort. Of course, they've got all these rookie-scale guys as well. So they're going to be able to kind of tweak and adjust where they need to give themselves a little bit of flexibility. It's in a couple years when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's extension will kick in that things will start to get even tighter. And it could not have been great news for them that the salary cap's not expected to grow like it was originally thought, so that's going to be a challenge. But then again, they've got 14 draft picks coming up over the next 7 years. So, and that's first-round picks, to be clear. So they're in a spot where they can do a lot of different things, and they'll be able to replace and turn the roster as guys move on. They'll be able to replace them with draft picks.
Is it sustainable?
Yeah, I think so. I think here's the key: if you're going to lose some guys, eventually you're going to see some guys filter out. Maybe it'll be Hartenstein, and then Dort, and then maybe Caruso, and you're going to have to continue to hit in the draft and continue to develop. And it is a group that's going to need some depth because we've seen Holmgren has missed a lot of time in his career. Jalen Williams played through what sounds like a pretty serious wrist injury to try to get that title win. And now they're in a spot where those guys are locked in for big-time money for the next 5 years beyond this one. And then SGA will be locked in for a ton of money. So it's sustainable? I think so. I think they're set up better than, say, Boston was with the way they had their team, and certainly better than teams like Phoenix and the like that have been other second-apron teams.
Mm-hmm. Last week, a lot of free agency conversation with it just getting open, but DeAndre Ayton decided to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. He'll join LeBron James and Luka Doncic. We knew they were looking for a center. What do you make of what the Lakers have done this offseason and the addition of DeAndre Ayton?
Yeah, I think DeAndre Ayton was probably the best they could do at the center position within reasonable moves. They had tried to address it last year with Mark Williams. That trade didn't end up sticking because they rescinded it after they looked at his medical. And now we're into this summer they could have gone with other options, maybe somebody like Brook Lopez, but he's an older player, so I think he's not really a lob threat, which is what they really seem to want with Luka Doncic. So now, they add Ayton. I think Jake LaRavia was a pretty good pickup. I think, Memphis kind of, and self-admitted, they might have blown it a little bit on his option. Now, it'll work out for them because they're using cap space and the like this summer, but I think LaRavia has a chance to be a pretty decent backup forward in that mix. They lost Dorian Finney-Smith, which will be a loss. They're going to have to figure that out. But overall, I think they've done pretty well considering they have limited resources. And then let's see what happens with LeBron James. This whole story of maybe he wants to be somewhere else. None of that seems to be going away, so we'll keep our eyes on that as well.
We know sports often can be the biggest copycat thing ever. Who out there, Keith, is trying and maybe laying the early groundwork to replicating what Oklahoma City's done?
Yeah, Washington Wizards are doing that in a big, big way.
Good. That'd be fun. Welcome back, Washington.
Absolutely. No surprise either. They've got a lot of guys in that front office that were formerly with the Thunder under Sam Presti. So they're, basically taking the same model of, hey, we're going to take in some veterans and we're going to get draft picks to take on their contracts. That was Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart last year. Now they picked up C.J. McCollum this year. They had Kelly Olynyk briefly and already flipped him in another trade. And the idea is bring them in with a pick, and then when you send them out, you either get a pick or a young player, and you kind of win on both sides of that. And then other than that, it's going to be collect as much young talent as you can get, and then let it all sort itself out on the court until you figure out, all right, these are our blue-chip guys. These are the guys we're really going to build around. And, OKC nailed it with SGA in a trade, and then with Holmgren and Williams in the draft. They are in great shape. The Wizards, we'll see, but they're kind of still in the early stages of this, but they're definitely setting the stage to follow the OKC model.
Mm-hmm. Other extensions out there last night, Devin Booker got a 2-year, $145 million max extension, or the way that I like to look at it, once this kicks in, as Poly Market Hoops pointed out on Twitter last night, over $880,000 per game, which is just incredible. What do you make of this deal? We know the Suns have been talked about a lot this offseason, but it always felt like Devin Booker was going to remain the centerpiece there. What do you make of Devin Booker getting that 2-year max?
Yeah, I think this signals that he's still committed to the franchise and that the franchise is committed to building everything around him. Kevin Durant's gone. Bradley Beal, we assume, will be gone anytime now. That hasn't happened yet, but it sounds like that's going to be the way that plays out, and it'll be Devin Booker, and they're committed to retooling as quickly as they can around him. The Suns have been on the record that they don't believe bottoming out and going into the draft and trying to build up that way is the right way for them. They really want to try to build a team that can be good through trades and then through some signings. That's part of what the Beal situation is get him off the books, get under that second apron, under the first apron, and really start kind of retooling your roster with that added flexibility around Devin Booker. I will say this on the Booker situation. I do think that extension is going to come in a little lower than what was reported, because that seems to be off some old salary cap math that I don't think we're going to quite get to, unfortunately. But it's not going to be drastically lower or anything, but it is going to probably come in slightly lower than that, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Keith, how would you describe the Grizzlies? As a retooling, a remodeling, or a rebuilding?
Like a retool, reset. I think they definitely not rebuilding, because if you're rebuilding, you're not doing it very well because you're still hanging on to too many guys. And I think their intention is, let's reset this roster around Jaren Jackson Jr., around John Morant. They moved out Desmond Bane. I think the Grizzlies are reading it of, all right, we gave this core group a good number of years together. They didn't quite get there. And we can't really survive with 3 guys on near max deals. So let's start the process of moving off some salary and doing that. And I think they did fairly well. I liked their moves this summer. I think getting Ty Jerome was a good move. I think they got Santi Aldama on a really fair contract. So I think they're really set up to move this thing forward. The challenge is it's the Western Conference, and it's really, really deep. And it's not... If they were in the East, I'd say, all right, they're in really good shape. They'll be, in the mix for maybe a top 4 seed. In the West, they're probably going to be down around the play-in tournament line, but that's just life in the Western Conference.
Boy, don't we know it, Keith? I mean, almost beaten down by it. And you look next year, and I've asked this. I mean, how many teams right now can you say the Grizzlies are ahead of in the West?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the only team that I think today I can look at and say, all right, they're not going to be a playoff team or the Utah Jazz. But everybody, I don't think New Orleans will get there. I don't think Portland will get there. I don't know that San Antonio is quite ready. But those last few teams, they're certainly trying. They are not going to be trying to be bad teams. Utah is they're kind of trying to follow a little bit of the OKC model with collect draft picks and get all this young talent in and move around. They're just getting started with that process though under Austin Ainge taking over the front office. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, the West is. I mean, you've got 14 teams that are at least going to start the season trying for playoff spots, and that's going to be tough. And now somebody will eventually, probably Thanksgiving-ish, maybe middle of December, maybe Christmas, they'll be like, yeah, it's not happening, and they'll move to be, all right, let's try to sell off and bottom this thing out, because this is a loaded draft class again coming up. I mean, there's a lot of people have said this, while there's no Cooper Flag in this upcoming draft class, guys like Darren Peterson and then Cam Boozer and AJ DeBonta, these guys are really, really good players. And they're going to be in a spot where it's going to be, all right, let's go into a position where it is, all right, let's really reset and chase those ping pong balls because this is another big-time draft class coming up.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I saw yesterday that the win totals are coming out for all of the teams in the NBA. Grizzlies right now at 40.5 is the over-under. Do you think that's kind of the right area to sit it for the Grizzlies?
It's a little low, but they are starting off training camp with Jaren Jackson Jr. coming off an injury. That's not a great place to be. That's not really where you want to be. We're still, the roster is still somewhat in flux. At least Zach Edey will also be recovering at the beginning. So two major front court guys are, two starters are looking. Desmond Bane's obviously gone, so that's going to be, kind of three starters down to start it off. But if those guys are okay by the time training camp starts, or at least early in the season, when I say early in the season, I mean like early to mid-November, I think they'll be better than that. I have a hard time seeing them drop, that far down win total wise. I think they're, still a mid to high 40 win team. But again, in the West, that gets you like the 6th seed at best, and that's the tough thing.
Mm-hmm. Last week we asked you about maybe some center options, and the Grizzlies went out there and picked up Jacques Landale. We talked about it a little bit. What do you make of that fit, at least while we're waiting for Zach Edey to return?
Yeah, good depth. They also, moved on from Jay Huff, which I think was a really good pickup, sneaky pickup for the Pacers. I think he's going to actually be pretty good for them, the way they play that 5-out system. I think he'll be, really solid as a Miles Turner replacement as far as, contracts go. He's making about a tenth of what Turner makes, so that'll be, good for them. But yeah, Jacques Landale is, he's a journeyman backup center. He's a big guy. He's pretty physical. He's, going to get in there, mix it up a little bit. So, if you're dealing with Zach Edey being down, I think, between, if Jackson is back and ready to go, between Jackson, Clark, Aldama, and Landale, you're going to be all right. I think they'll be able to do some stuff there, and then we'll see if, someone else emerges or something like that.
At ESPN.com, how come they're not listing Jacques Landale on the Grizzlies roster?
I don't. Has he actually signed yet? I don't know if that signing's gone official yet. Yeah, that's so generally they won't move anything until something is official. So that's kind of I think the way they try to play it. My rule of thumb for a signing going official is when it hits the NBA.com transaction log or the team starts tweeting about it. If the team's tweeting about it, then it's official.
Yeah, that's I think it's a good rule of thumb.
I just looked again. He's not on there. So that's got to be it.
Mm-hmm. Keith, would you pay $2,500 to sit courtside and watch Cooper Flag and Bronny James play against each other?
I don't think I'd pay $2,500 to watch them do that in the NBA Finals. So no.
Would you pay to see Bird and Magic do it?
Yeah, Bird and Magic today or Bird and Magic back in the 80s?
I don't know. I might pay that to see him today. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I might be a little more interested in today. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have been going to Las Vegas Summer League since it was on these the weekdays. It was 7 or 8 media members and school field trips in there yelling and screaming and making all kinds of noise. And, what it has grown into is just something else. It is. I tell people, I get there Saturday myself is when I'm getting in. And I tell people all the time, if you love basketball, you can't beat it because you get, somewhere between 6 and 8 games in a day. You buy your ticket is not to a game, it's to the entire day's worth of session. And the 2 gyms are connected by the concourse, and you just pop back and forth between the 2 gyms, get to check it out. And yeah, the sitting down courtside is tough, but you're still going to get better seats than you'll probably get, most NBA games for far, far less than what you'd pay for them in these gyms. And you get up close and you're able to see all these guys. It's a blast. Whenever anybody asks that I know doesn't really get it, I explain it as it's the NBA version of Comic-Con. It's everything is there, and it's an absolute blast.
That's a good comparison.
Keith, I have never heard a single person that's been to Summer League that did not come back or return or tell people they were just absolutely raving about it and that you should do it. I've never heard of a person that come back and go, total waste of time. Never, not one. Everybody says it's a blast.
Yeah, and I tell people go earlier in the week because generally by the time you get to the middle to end of the session, they're shutting guys down. I think they've already said Cooper Flagg's only going to play a couple games out there. So you want to be, if you really want to see the main guys. But it's a lot of fun. As I told someone, I said, yeah, the courtside seat stuff is getting a little crazy, but you'll be able to get, in the arena, down in the lower bowl, close, if you get there early, and you're going to see, guys that you are going to be in the NBA. I'm watching this Timberwolves-Pelicans game right now, and these 2 teams, they've got, I think between them, they've probably got 10 or 12 rostered players. This year's draft picks from last year, and then other guys that are there. So it's a great value. It's a great time. It's you pop around and you never know who you're going to see out in the concourse either because everybody from the NBA world pops in there at one point or another, and most of them are pretty cool because it's the summertime. It's relaxed. Free agency is mostly done at this point, so most people are just kind of there enjoying it, and they're open to talk, take pictures, autographs, all that fun stuff. Just I can't recommend it more if you're a basketball fan.
Yeah, it's a good point. This is the week where I see all these people on Twitter and TikTok and everything, posting videos of the NBA superstars they're just casually running into in the concourse of those games. So it is definitely cool to watch and some fun games. I saw the Brooklyn Nets have 20 guys on their summer league roster. That seems like an awful lot of guys on a summer league roster.
Yeah, that's a big roster.
Yeah, they're getting out of control now. It is starting to turn into, wait a minute, what are we doing with, how are we going to get all these guys minutes in the like? I've been doing summer league long enough in Las Vegas as well as the old Orlando summer league. You'd get to the end of the session and you might have a game where there might only have been 7 or 8 available players, because what happens as it goes along is the guys who aren't getting NBA deals are picking up deals overseas, and a lot of those guys are taking off, and they sign that overseas deal, and that seems like you are not playing in another game at Summer League. Get out of there and get ready to move overseas. So it's really something else. But yeah, 20 guys, and I think Orlando's bringing 19, so it's something else.
Keith, I know you're headed to Vegas and you're going on a family excursion. We'll visit again in 3 weeks on the 31st. I know that day you'll have the full breakdown for us of the Pro Football Hall of Fame game that'll be played that night in Canton. So you've been forewarned, okay?
All right, yeah, I don't even know who's playing. They're playing in July? I didn't even think they started that early. That 31st, that's my birthday, too.
Happy birthday.
We'll
celebrate
we'll
you that day.
Time. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have a good time then. But, yeah, I'm Yeah, we're gonna go to Summer League, do my thing out there with both Summer League as well as Sports Business Classroom. I'll be one of the instructors out there trying to educate people on the salary cap and everything else that are trying to get into the world of basketball. It's going to be a blast. And then I get home. I'm home for a couple days, enough time to do laundry, repack, and we're off on a little cross-country road trip with the family.
That is good stuff. Keith, thank you so much
Keith.
for everything you do for us. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You got it. Keith Smith with us every week from Spy Track and the Front Office Show, and he's getting ready to have some busy time and then some downtime, and we will catch back up. That's scary that Canton is in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy. When you said next time we talk to you, we'll be previewing the Hall of Fame game, wait a minute. What?
Why did I black out on who's in the Hall of Fame game?
I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't either.
I think it's like Lions and somebody.
Lions and Chargers.
That's it. That's right.
Chargers. Okay. Yeah. I'll watch it. I don't care who's in it.
Starters play two plays.
Minutes. I doubt any of them play any.
You know what I'm looking most forward to that night, and I'll watch will be the football talk and the broadcast.
Absolutely.
But to hear the NBC music opening.
Oh yeah, makes it. That's the unofficial start of football season. I mean, it just tells you we are here. It's finally football time.
And Keith, he really has a mastery of the cap and all that. I bet that class would be fascinating and could learn a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, earlier
NBA
today,
execs could learn from
absolutely. Earlier today, when the Jalen Williams news came out, I'd already known the Chet news came out yesterday. Immediately went to X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and looked at Keith's Twitter page just to see if he had tweeted out about it, and he hadn't at the time, but I looked again 30 minutes later, and he had kind of put up there like, hey, what he told us, if this isn't going into effect this year, but it's going to be there, it's going to be tight, they're probably going to need to move a player or two, but they're going to be able to make it work because they have so many assets. So yeah, I mean, any type of big move or anything that I just, I don't understand all that money, especially when we get to the aprons and all of that, go to Keith, and he's got us covered.
Can easily explain. It's very relatable. Yep. And anything complex, when somebody can explain it that easily to you, that shows you what a handle you have.
Absolutely,
on it.
And he's got a great handle.
He does. Summertime fun and the best road trips start right in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. 0 interest on all the new Silverado 1500s. Nobody with more new Silverados than at All-Star in Olive Branch. Or go big in a new Silverado HD. Interest as low as 4.9, no payments for 90 days. Your good credit deserves it, and you get it at All-Star. The Equinox, they're flying off the lot as All-Star celebrates our nation's birth and enjoys the rest of the summer and the rest of this month with all the new Equinox right there on the lot in Olive Branch, selling at just 100 over invoice. 100 over invoice. Come pick out your Equinox. See the invoice at only 100 for a great deal the rest of this month of July. Check out all the new certified pre-owns. Unbelievable deals from our friends in Olive Branch at All-Star. Silverados, Tahoes, Traverse, Equinox. You got to test drive the Corvette Stingray. If you have any vehicle you want to sell, bring it to All-Star in Olive Branch and get the most money back for it, and do it today. Let's go together and drive something from All-Star at Olive Branch and All-Star Chevrolet. For more information, go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk some college football. That's next on Sports Time.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Marshall Steakhouse is a feast for the eyes as well as the body. Enjoy all-American USDA prime steaks, aged 30 days or more, and other delicious meats and sides. Marshall Steakhouse in Holly Springs, named the #1 steakhouse in Mississippi by the Food Network, and named in the top 2 most legendary steakhouses in the South by Southern Living Magazine. Make reservations today and get free bread pudding by calling 662-252-2424 or online at marshallsteakhouse.com. Marshall Steakhouse in Holly Springs, a Southern treat.
If you hate the number on your scales, you'll love 901-436-0272. 436-0272 for Millington Weight Loss and Wellness. 436-0272 for GLP-1 and NAD Plus injections and Evolve X. Evolve X melts fat, tightens skin, and works muscles. Evolve X is safer, more affordable than surgery, and it's non-invasive. Contact Wellness Manager Aaron Chasteen, 901-436-0272.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I'm inviting you over for dinner. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner of scrumptious combinations. Fresh salads, homemade soups, or maybe start with an appetizer, like our baked Dungeness crab dip with manchego cheese, lemon, garlic, and French baguette toast. Drift into one of our fresh seafood dishes, like the caramelized sea scallops with curry beurre blanc, black forbidden rice, and Thai mango salad. Or our ancho honey glazed salmon with creamy black bean puree, avocado pico de gallo, and jalapeno crema. Maybe you're looking for something cozy and comforting, like our Duroc pork chop with apple brandy demi-glaze and blue cheese bacon mashed potatoes. We have something for everyone. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us. I'd sure love to see you.
Congratulations to Napa Cafe, celebrating 27 years of great food and service for you. Napa Cafe.
Please help the children with back-to-school supplies. 1 out of 4 families can't afford to buy back-to-school supplies for their children to go back to school. Teachers have to pay out of pocket for needed materials for their classrooms. So please help the children by dropping off essential school supplies for the school year. You can drop them off at First Metropolitan Financial Services, 6295 Summer Avenue or 7239 Winchester. Help children by helping stuff the bus.
This traffic brought to you by Raleigh Tire Auto Service, your local family-owned business for over 60 years.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Still building on Sam Cooper going outbound. There's been a couple of wrecks earlier over there around 240 and Poplar. Again, it's building pretty good out here now through Midtown. Right on schedule, actually trying to get south of Memphis as that volume increases on 55, trying to slide down through DeSoto County. Weimer's Jewelry, serving Memphis for over 40 years. No matter what the occasion is, you'll save a ton of money. But you got to go by and see them at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios. We got to talk some college football. I mentioned it earlier. CBS Sports did a hot seat ranking for every coach in college football. There are 5 tiers or kind of rankings that one can get. 0 to .99 is untouchable.
Nothing better than list season with tiers
unbelievable.
Inside of lists.
But I don't like, I will say this, and maybe this is something I have to take up with David Cobb, even though his name is not on this story, but I know he works for them. Don't like how this was laid out. It was laid out alphabetically, which is not a way you do lists or tiers or anything. Listed out alphabetically.
This is the one that's on the hottest seat.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So, I mean, you got to start at A, and then you kind of, like, I had to, there's 1 5 on here, which 5 is the worst. That is win or be fired. There's only 1 on here. I'm having to, like, I had to go through, 2 times trying to find the 5 on this list, and finally
layout
found it.
issues. You're right.
It's Sonny Cumbie at La Tech is the only 5 on this list, which is a little disappointing. But so 0 to .99 is untouchable. 1 to 1.99 is safe and secure. 2 to 2.99 is all good. ... for now. 3 to 3.99 is pressure is mounting. 4 to 4.99 is start improving now, and then 5 is win or be fired. So Ryan Silverfield, would you care to take a guess where Ryan Silverfield falls in?
It's not even close.
Not even close. He is safe and secure. One of 60 coaches that is safe and secure. Sam Pittman, a coach that he will see later this season. Any guesses on where he is?
It should be scorching.
It is, I would say he's probably the closest to the 5. He is
Sonny Cumbia level?
Yes, he is a 4.22. He is start improving now category. I would love to see who is above him that's
and
not
you know
5.
next week, both in general and when we have on our friends talking the Razorbacks that cover the Razorbacks so well, including Ty Richardson, that we have every Friday with us starting late August all the way through Arkansas in the NCAA tournament, we will be asking about a number.
Yeah.
And I think the number's probably lower than most believe because of where we are with the money set up.
Yeah.
Old school, Coach Broyles running things. 6 wins wouldn't have him back. I think 6, he's back, and I can defend that.
Sure, yeah, and I think we've talked about it. I think, go to a bowl game, I think, you are back.
Can't lose to Arkansas State.
Yeah.
Frankly, can't through their prism, how they're looking at it.
Absolutely.
Can't lose to Memphis.
No, you can't. Not at all.
Don't get humiliated at home.
Yeah.
You can lose, but don't let it be 48-3. Don't let it be 63-31.
Well, yeah, that's true. But no, I think you're exactly right. But I think if they're bowl eligible, if they finish with 6 or 7 wins, I think he is back, and we're probably having the same exact conversation we're having this right now. We're probably doing that next year at this time.
And like last year with Tennessee, give the fans something to leave really chest popping about.
Yeah.
I think that would be a win over Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah. No, that would absolutely be that.
I know it would be.
Yeah, no,
Goalposts wouldn't come down
Yeah.
and shouldn't, but it would be very happy. Might be milling about on the field.
Sure. Yeah, we
That's
talked
kind
about
of the
it.
new thing to not get the fine.
Yeah, well,
I think that gets a fine, even though
does.
not tearing the goalposts
No,
down.
it does. It definitely does. But we talked about that last year with this team of have that marquee win, even if you only win 6 games. Have that marquee win, and I think you had that Tennessee game circled of go out there and win that, get everyone excited, have a lot of fun. You got that one right, and it did. It kind of rejuvenated things for a minute, and then things went crashing down.
I've got another game like that this year.
Okay.
And it's against Notre Dame.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's in the win total.
Yeah.
And the last game of the year against Mizzou, if Arkansas is already bowl eligible, 6 or 7 wins, and going into it, the arithmetic is win that one, a little better bowl, or lose that one, kind of settle in at the bowl that you go to for 6 or 7. Okay, fine. Don't be 48-3. Don't be like it was 2 years ago in Fayetteville when I went to that game.
That's right. Yeah. No.
It was so uncompetitive. It was frightening.
No, you can't get blown out, and I think that's going to be a big thing. But there's going to be a lot of eyes on Arkansas this year and what Sam Pittman does. Some other coaches, Lane Kiffin, 1.11, very safe and secure for
no
him.
Pressure, especially not with his AD.
Right.
Rightly getting a new deal today. Keith Carter extended through until 2029, the job he's done from what he took over. And remember, he'd been on the job full time as AD 2 weeks on the night of the Elijah Moore incident, the end of the Egg Bowl, and Ole Miss, quite frankly, woke up the next morning out of the football business.
Sure did. Yeah.
It was as low as I've ever been.
It was. It very quickly. It turned, overnight and kind of became that.
And he was laser focused to get one guy.
Yep.
And fired his best offer, basketball guy, shoot your shot. And he shot it, and he got Lane Kiffin.
Sure did. And it has worked out extremely well. Ryan Day, 0.89. Dan Lanning, 0.22. Obviously, a couple coaches that made the college football playoff.
No chances, but if they lost again
to
Michigan.
That's what I find interesting. So you have Oregon with Dan Lanning at 0.22, and then you have Ryan Day, who just won the national championship, at a 0.89. So it's higher
that
there.
Was so good.
And it's that. Brett, before the college football playoff started, there were people that were respected people, do this for a living, serious people saying it might be time to make a change at Ohio State.
Well, Brian, we all thought Tennessee was pulling the upset.
Sure did.
And that would have made it easy.
That would have been, first round exit, you lost to your rival, things just aren't working. Let's move in a different direction.
Now, I'll say this. His boss, Ross Bjork, is very much ride it out and not, be too reactive to things.
Yeah.
Ross is a long game guy.
Here's someone who is higher. Here are actually two coaches that are higher that both reside in the same state that are on hotter seats than Sam Pittman. I mentioned Sam Pittman, 4.22. How about we start with the closer one to him, 4.33, Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, 21st year. It's not ending well. He always is running hot, and he was always kind of cantankerous anyway. I really like him, but I don't see it ending well for him. And they're heartbroken at Oklahoma State. They miss Bedlam.
Yeah,
they miss.
It's a tough time.
It is, and everything ends. And I'm afraid it's not going to end well for him. He is their Bear Bryant, though.
Yeah,
he's the number one coach at Oklahoma State. No, it's not even close.
Oh, man. I mean,
all time.
Yeah, it's been incredible. And then same state, 4.67. This is nice thing about I hate this list because it's alphabetical, but this is nice. It tells you what rating they were in last year.
It's not my favorite list either because
it's horrible.
Getting to their
horrible.
temperature is too difficult.
It's horrible. It's so bad. But this coach was a 2 last year, which falls in the all good for now. Now he is a 4.67. Brent Venables.
I think it should be.
Yeah, it absolutely should be.
Now Joe Castiglione just announced his retirement plan. He signed Venables when nobody's coming after him to that contract, and I think that's gonna hang with Castiglione's legacy there.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma, they will go out and really try to land the big coach. I'm not making any predictions of where, but you're seeing so much stuff on social media that this person's doing, and now there's just no hang-ups about hiring anybody, even with a transgression from the past. And his were very serious. Some of those were incendiary and really, really off-putting. I think in November, somewhere in college football, somebody will go, let's do it, and hire John Gruden.
Really?
I do.
Yeah, I mean, his name's been out there for the last couple of years of just kind of, floating out there.
But he left the Raiders in
he did.
Such humiliation over those emails.
He absolutely did.
From when he was at ESPN.
But it almost kind of feels like that.
Time fixes a lot.
It does, and it almost, these last couple of years, it's been kind of floated out there of maybe this team is a little interested, and maybe this team takes a look at it. Maybe kind of soft launching for some team to go and do it.
There was that time where it was here locally, a very credible person doing local news announced that he had accepted the Tennessee job.
Yeah.
Arkansas, a couple of times, thought they had him. Tennessee's wanted him a couple of times. It was all laughable. He wasn't, at that point in his career, he wasn't leaving to go back to college because he was set at the network level.
Oh, yeah.
And then tried the Raiders, and it came undone. I think he pops up somewhere. And Oklahoma is just that swashbuckling place that, big oil money. We don't really care what you think.
Yeah, they got to go out there and hire an AD now. So maybe a lot of change coming to the Oklahoma athletic department.
Where's Billy Napier?
Billy Napier, that's a great question. I have him right here, 3.67. So that would land in the pressure is mounting category.
Yeah, I figured.
Do you feel like pressure is mounting for Billy Napier?
Well, from last year, a lot of people were beginning of the year.
He saved himself at the end.
Yeah,
beating LSU and Ole Miss.
Definitely did. Feels like a big year for them, though. I think a lot of people.
I think this is I think this is a make or break for
Feels
them.
like it. Definitely feels like it. How about speaking of Florida? Since all of these are just alphabetically listed and they're all just right here next to each other. Our old buddy Mike Norvell, 3.33 in the pressure is mounting category.
How about Timmy Chang?
Okay, 2.44.
All right, he's all right.
Yeah, he is.
That's
he should
the
be.
all good for now.
What's Kalen DeBoer?
Okay, that's a great one. Kalen DeBoer, 2.33. So all good for now. But think about that, Brett. We just talked about, Timmy Chang being in the all good for now. It's fine. We're talking about the guy that took over Alabama. This should be a second year of Alabama. You should be in the 1 category or maybe even still the 0. He's already up, getting ready for a second season at the 2.33, and I think that's exactly where he should be.
Great coach that did a really poor job last year.
He did. And I think there's a lot of things around it. I think he gets here and there's a quarterback sitting there that, is a good quarterback, but I don't think it was necessarily his quarterback or the guy that he would have chosen to be his starting quarterback. But because he was there, because he had been so good for Alabama, you got to play him. And I think that didn't work out between offensive coordinator, between quarterback. So, I think he's a good coach. We'll see, now that it's more of his team.
The good of Milroe last year was so good.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Against Wisconsin, at times against Georgia. Times against Georgia it wasn't, but they got the win.
The bad, though, was really
at Tennessee, Vandy.
Michigan in the bowl game. I mean, that was what was it, 3
dreadful.
or 4 turnovers in the first half? Maybe first quarter.
Well, it's at some point that day, DeBoer, you come over here and stand with me.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to try something else.
We're going to get you out of there.
You've checked out, so I'm taking you out.
Right. Yeah, we just got to do something different. So yeah, great. Nobody asked this, but I'm going to throw it out there as a great question because it just popped into my head. Trent Dilfer, where are you at? 4.44.
Yeah.
How in the world is he still the head coach at UAB?
I don't know.
I have no clue. But I guess we'll see.
I thought it was worth trying.
It was worth trying. I don't know if it was worth keeping him around after last year.
If he's out, would you consider a return to the state of Alabama for Gus Malzahn, who this year will be FSU's offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I mean, I think you floated out there for sure. I mean, I think it would be if he wants to get back into being a head coach.
Then key if he wanted.
Yeah, but and I think you got to decide: are you
kind of
actually
pushed
fully
it to Central Florida,
invested?
but wanted out?
Yeah, and can you be fully invested? Can you be fully invested here?
Yeah.
Would be key questions, but it'd be slam dunk. I mean, if you go out there and get him, that would be a very popular hire in that area. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. So, any other coaches we're curious about before we get out of here? I think we got
Butch
them
Jones.
all. Great question, Butch Jones. Where are you? 2.44. He actually went down. Last year was a 3. Now 2.44. So it's all good for now.
They will build the Tower of Butch Jones if he pulls the upset in Little Rock.
Oh man! Oh, forget the rest of the season. If they win, that's one of those where I don't care what happened the rest of the year. You beat Arkansas. That would be.
There'll be people paying his light bill for
him.
Oh
yeah. That'd be.
How about our buddy Silverfield?
I already said it. He's 1.67.
So good.
No,
yeah, as he should be.
He's in a
Kirby
great
Smart.
Spot. Kirby, yeah. Let's see where
any zeros?
There are like 0 point, like I mentioned, Dan Lanning 0.22, Ryan Day 0.89.
Do they have a rating for Bill Belichick?
No, I think I haven't looked. I'll have to look, but he's probably a 0. That's what they have. A lot of the coaches I've seen that are new coaches.
Okay. It'd be funny if he was already at a number.
George is a 0.1, or Kirby Smart's a 0.11.
Yeah.
So that's great. Where's North? That is a good question though, because with everything that's happened around him, there could be a world 2.11. Bill Belichick,
Wow.
a Super Bowl Super Bowl winning
Six-time.
head coach, 6-time Super Bowl winning head coach, is already a 2.11.
The greatest coach in the history of the NFL.
Yes. And is already a 2.11.
Hot seat.
That's
Chapel
awesome.
Hill.
All right, forget my hate for this list. I love it now. I'm back in.
That's funny.
ESPN today with a list.
I love lists.
The arch villain of every big time team, like for Texas.
Gosh, that's great.
It's Oklahoma. For Clemson, it's Lenore Sellers. For Penn State, it's Ryan Day. For Georgia, it has Alabama. LSU, their arch villain.
Ooh.
Daytime home games.
Is that really what it said?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Bama, Vandy.
Ooh, that's
Come on, Ed.
Oh man, that's tough.
That's more like a new villain.
That's tough.
Like real new.
For Georgia,
like last year.
For Georgia, I'd just put Nick Saban.
For Florida, Georgia.
Yeah. Well.
For Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
For Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Did you see Ohio State's? I just pulled it up.
No, I didn't.
Sherrone Moore.
Oh, really? Yeah. Caused a
good.
fracas last year.
It's great. That's phenomenal. Oh, this is a much better list.
But it all ended well for Ohio State.
It all ended perfectly. I mean, again, we completely forgot that we all wanted him. We all thought he was gonna get fired because he won a national championship. So
hard to believe they gave that game away.
Crazy. I still don't really understand it, but I guess that's what happens. But yeah, it's full on list season around the country. Hopefully. Next week, once we get to media days, get out of media days, get to other media days around the country, we can get to more looking towards the season instead of all of these lists, but they are fun to look at. Let's get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM. And 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Newsflash, Family Leisure needs your help. Family Leisure has a warehouse full of inventory, and they need it cleaned out. Do your part to make room for new items, and you get great deals on almost everything. Listen up. All in-stock patio furniture, it's up to 80% off. You can get a 4-piece deep seating set for under $1,000. Chaise lounges. You buy one, and you're going to need another, and that other one will be one half off. All Pollywood furniture. It's now 20 to 30% off. You buy any dining table, you're going to get an umbrella absolutely free, and they're not cheap. Now, is financing available? You better believe it. Special financing is a go. To sum it all up, Family Leisure has got to clear out its warehouse inventory, which means you're going to rack up the savings. Help Family Leisure clear out the warehouse. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together to clean out the warehouse.
Sunrise on Jefferson and Sunrise East on Poplar were recently voted the best breakfast restaurants in Memphis by a guy on the internet. This was a rave review. He rhapsodized about the signature square biscuits, the huge selection of delicious foods, the friendliness of the staff, and how fast and fresh his breakfast was at both Sunrise locations. It was the kind of unsolicited post that businesses love to see. Okay, it was written by me. I posted it. That doesn't make it any less true. You can't do better than Sunrise.
Rolling, Raleigh Tire keeps you rolling.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bill Dance. Now, if you're looking for tires at a great price, Raleigh Tire has got you covered with national brands like Continental, General, Michelin, and more. And if your truck or car needs attention, well, the friendly folks at Raleigh Tire can help you there also. From oil changes to engines, they're a full-service department. And when you roll in, how about telling them Bill Dance sent you? You're just going to love doing business with these folks that treat you like family. Raleigh Tire.
Need reliable tires that keep you rolling smoothly? Look no further than Raleigh Tire. Whether you're cruising city streets or tackling rugged terrain, Raleigh Tire has you covered. Our tires are built for durability, performance, and safety. Plus, with unbeatable prices and exceptional customer service, you'll drive away with confidence. Raleigh Tire, where the rubber meets the road. Visit Collierville, Cordova, Arlington, and Olive Branch.
Rolling, Raleigh Tire keeps you rolling.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. Fancy water bottle with You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you can save big for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
All right, my big number today comes from Major League Baseball. It's the number 104. Yesterday, there were 104 extra base hits around Major League Baseball. None of them were triples. That's the most extra base hits without a triple on a single day in the modern era. I don't know.
In the modern era,
1909. Yeah. I mean, it's the greatest modern era ever. I don't know why that's a big number, but I guess
it's the most unmodern.
It really is. It honestly is. Like, I don't know if I've ever heard of anything less modern than 1909.
If I can tighten up my college football rankings,
absolutely.
Can't we tighten up the modern era a little?
Well, it's good.
Could we bring it?
You would hope.
Yes.
At least after World War One.
I mean, just do something.
1980.
Yeah. I mean,
that's going full Tyler Hero.
I would love that. I would love that.
That's the modern era for that guy.
I mean, it really is. I mean, but like, give me to like, I don't know, 1950, like
50 probably.
I mean, then at least like.
Yeah.
And to think that's giving
DiMaggio,
you,
Williams.
Yeah.
That's giving you almost 50 years.
Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle were rookies in 51.
I say we do the Tyler Hero model. Let's just go back to, what did he say, 1950 or whatever it was?
So we're agreeing with him? I said he was the dumbest human that ever walked.
I think this is like very softly agreeing. I don't even know if we can even say we're agreeing with him in this one, but maybe with baseball we can agree with him.
We're starting the opening bid.
The great thing, though, is that we know that with all of these changes to Major League Baseball that we've seen over the last couple of years, that we are now living in a new era. Like, there's going to be one day where they're going to say the universal DH era or something like that. So it's just not right now.
They sure will.
Yeah. So that will be one day, but it's not today. We're still living in the modern era of 1909.
My big number is 13. That's the number of wins for Coach Prime in 2 years with Colorado. Remember what he inherited, though. Remember that.
Yeah.
To have them to this point. Over and under this year for Coach Prime, 6.5. That's no Travis Hunter. That's no Shedeur Sanders, and they open against Georgia Tech and Brent Key. He's won 14 the last 2 years at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And he went into a not as bad, but pretty tough deal. Could be a Liberty Bowl team for Colorado. They could be the Big 12 rep.
I'd be there.
6, 7, and 5, Coach Prime.
Why not? That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind it at all. But yeah, I mean, it's he's done a nice job there, but this year's going to be a lot different. You know, he doesn't have his quarterback. He doesn't have his Heisman Trophy winner, and so how will it look with kind of a new era for Colorado football? It'll be fun to watch.
What about a Oklahoma Colorado Liberty Bowl?
I'd like that. I could be certainly down for that.
That's back to the Big 8.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think I would like that for my predictions when I had Oklahoma in the,
has never played in a Liberty Bowl game.
Yeah.
Oklahoma has never played in Memphis.
I'd like that. I'd be definitely.
Colorado last played in a Liberty Bowl in 70 after coming back-to-back years, 69 and 70.
Yeah, I have a buddy. One of my good friends is a big Oklahoma fan, so he'd love that. He would definitely like to see the Sooners here, but who knows? I don't know. We'll see if they make it. That'd be definitely cool.
Speaking of Sharon Moore, he's OU grad.
Yeah,
they play week 2.
Yeah, well,
Sooners and
yeah,
Big Blue.
There's some really good games. I feel like we say it every year, but there's some really good games week 1 and week 2 this season in college football.
It is.
I mean, must-watch games. I mean,
and week 0.
And
week 0.
Week 0. Hawaii and Stanford on CBS.
Prime time,
6:30.
Isn't that great?
Oh, man.
On your big CBS affiliate.
On the big 3 letters. That's right. So, prime time. Not prime time, like mid-afternoon in Hawaii.
I mean, that used to be preseason football night on CBS.
Yeah.
That Saturday night.
Brett, I've actually made it to the point where I started looking at, it's a big thing for me. I don't ever want to do it too early where I look at the opening night of college basketball, opening day of the NBA, opening weekend of college football. I did it during my 2 days off. I went and I looked and I saw the week 0 slate and I got that feeling in my stomach. I got a little excited.
I'm ready.
I'm ready for it.
We're not far.
We are not far at all. We'll be here before we know it. Heck, next week we're at SEC Media Days, which feels insane to even say, but it'll be here before we know it.
Most of my life at SEC Media Days.
Well, hey, you get ready, buckle up for another week.
There's worse places to be,
That's
Brett.
exactly right.
I'm more than happy to be there.
That's a great point. Well, we got to get to another break, and when we come back, speaking of SEC Media Days, we got to talk the SEC. That's because SEC Michael Bratton from That SEC Podcast, he joins us next. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Sports Time.
When life crashes into you, literally, NST Law doesn't just show up with a briefcase. They show up with heart. They sit with families after devastating wrecks, look them in the eye, and say, "We've got you." No scripts, no legal jargon, just real people fighting for real justice. If someone turned your life upside down, NST helps you stand back up. They've been doing this for over 35 years and have won billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or go to nstlaw.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
It's time for SEC Media Days. Join Brett Norsworthy as he broadcasts live from the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, Monday through Thursday, previewing the upcoming SEC football season and bringing you interviews with players, coaches, and SEC leaders. Tune in to Sports Time with Stats and Brian Dacus from 3 to 6, and also hear from Stats throughout the day for SEC Media Days coverage. Brought to you by First National Bank of Trust, Jason's Deli, Gould Salon and Spa, Jim's Place Grill, and East Memphis Ace Hardware.
Uncorn flavor, Corky's barbecue. We're cooking it up, down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering is our specialty. Memphians have trusted Corky's to cater their events for 40 years because we make it easy for you and delicious for your guests. Whether it's 50 people or a crowd of thousands, our experienced team comes to your location, sets up, serves, and ensures everyone enjoys a Corky's all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet starting at only $7.99 per person. You can't beat it. With 40 years of experience, it's easy to see why customers choose Corky's time and time again for all of their catering needs. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to book us for your next party.
Uncorn flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Please help the children with back-to-school supplies. 1 out of 4 families can't afford to buy back-to-school supplies for their children to go back to school. Teachers have to pay out-of-pocket for needed materials for their classrooms. So please help the children by dropping off essential school supplies for the school year. You can drop them off at First Metropolitan Financial Services, 6295 Summer Avenue or 7239 Winchester. Help children by helping stuff the bus. This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon, Tina. I was moving a stalled truck a few minutes ago in Midtown.
Sports 56. 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios as we start our third and final hour on this Thursday afternoon. Really excited about our next guest joining us to talk some SEC football, Michael Bratton. But you might know him as SEC Mike from That SEC Podcast. Go give him a follow. Or if you're like me, before you even followed him, he was all over your social media.
I know him as the other half of the team
That's
with
right.
Cousin Shane. That's what I know him as.
Right. The guy to follow if you are looking for SEC football content at Michael W. Bratton on social media.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, how's it going? Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We are glad to have you. We need the one prediction that you're going to make, not for necessarily scalding takes, not necessarily to get things going. One thing you can count on next week at SEC Media Days, the one prediction for the season you're going to make.
Hugh Freeze gets asked about his handicap after golfing 60,000 times this year. How about that?
Is it fair?
I think it's more than fair considering the way his program's recruiting right now.
Well, and Michael, it's more than fair considering some of the other questions that he has been asked at SEC Media Days.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, golf handicap's a little benign, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very mild.
Yeah, but believe it or not, I was standing next to him when I got to think back. I think it was my first media days. I think it was 2017 when all the they were so timely with how they released all that. But all the allegations against him, I mean, it was that was a scene down there.
Yeah, that was the year he went full filibuster and ran it out the entire speaking time and left about 10 seconds for questions. And hey, got to go. Remember that?
Yeah, so hopefully we don't get some of that, but who knows?
I defended him against that. The summertime, these guys really don't have one anymore, Michael. And Bryant made the good point during that dialogue that we had about it. I'll guarantee you some of those times he was with well-heeled booster having discussions about, fundraising and NIL and, better ways to help the program. I don't think he was out there just playing an emergency nine by himself.
No, that's certainly fair. And, again, I like to give the guy a hard time. I think he's earned that. But if he's 10-2 last year, 11-1, no one cares. But
no
he's
doubt.
not. So I think he's got to have a little bit more sense just in maybe don't log the scores so that everyone can publicly see him. Maybe that would have been a smarter decision.
In that Iron Bowl world, this was the time for Auburn to be catching up and maybe getting separation, getting the upper hand on Alabama. It feels like they're not seizing on that moment, are they?
No, but again, it is, the middle of the summer, it's July. There's not real momentum, in my opinion, to be gained or lost. I don't think this will happen, but let's say Alabama loses to Florida State in the opener. Let's say they turn around and lose in Athens, which is certainly possible. Bama could be 2-2 to start the season, and if things break right for Auburn, I think it'll be an uphill climb. But could they win at Baylor week 1? Sure. Could they win at Oklahoma week 4? Certainly. So, Auburn could be 4-0, Bama could be 2-2, and all of a sudden that may have the switch may have been flipped in that rivalry.
Yeah, no, it absolutely could be. And obviously a lot of questions for Auburn and what they're going to have this year, and especially at the quarterback position. We know they went out and got Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma, but we know quarterback has been the big question since he has taken over at Auburn, since Hugh Freeze has taken over. What do you make of Jackson Arnold to Auburn, and what do you expect to see from him this season?
Yeah, I think it's fair to question that decision and whether it's going to work because, again, Jackson Arnold's a very talented guy, but what was the issue that plagued him at Oklahoma? Turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
What was the issue that plagued Auburn's offense last year? Turnovers. So putting those two together, I mean, it could work or it could blow up in his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think Hugh Freeze has a reputation of being a quarterback guru. I don't necessarily think that is earned. I think, he did bring a ton of innovation to Oxford when he got that job, but that was over a decade ago, and I think the league has caught up to tempo and that style of offense. Many programs are running that, so I don't know that they have a scheme advantage. So I don't know how you look at last year and you have faith in Hugh Freeze, the head football coach. I have to see it before I believe it.
You mentioned Oklahoma. Last year at SEC Media Days, all the Oklahoma media was telling us that they were SEC ready. They weren't, Michael. Are they now?
I mean, they better be. Otherwise, Brett Venables, I think, he'll probably be back at Clemson as a defensive coordinator by December. I mean, I think it's that dire right now because I think Brett Venables may be maybe the best defensive coordinator in the country. Is he a quality head coach? I think that remains to be seen. And obviously what they did on the offensive side of the football was a train wreck last year. And they're gambling on John Mateer and the Washington State offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle to light a spark there. But, again, you could have the best quarterback in the country. You could have the best offensive coordinator. If you don't have the offensive line, it's not going to matter. So, we're all enamored with John Mateer, I think, for good reason. But I think the fate of the Sooners and really the fate of Brent Venables rests on that offensive line.
Yeah, it's a really good point. A guy we've talked about a couple times already today is Sam Pittman at Arkansas, back again this year, but definitely entering the year on the hot seat. They went out, had Taylor Green as their starting quarterback last year. He returns as the signal caller.
He's great in Liberty Bowls.
Yeah, he was fantastic. But what do you make of Arkansas going into this season, and will they be able to do enough winning to have Sam Pittman keep his job?
Yeah, I don't know. That's $1 million question in Fayetteville right now. It seems like most of the fans I speak with, they're ready to move on from Coach Sam Pittman, and I don't know if that's fair or not. I'm not sitting here telling you he's done a great job, but I also think that virtually every time he takes the field with his team, maybe outside of Mississippi State, they are at a talent disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yet last time I checked, they did beat top 5 Tennessee last year. They went to the college football playoff, and the two coaches before him, Chad Morris, maybe the worst SEC coach ever, and Brett Bielema, who's doing a great job running his mouth, and he's doing all right in the Little Ten, but he couldn't get it done at Arkansas either. So, I think fans should be cautious of what they wish for because we've seen a lot worse, and firing Sam Pittman is not going to guarantee that you're going to have elite talent at Arkansas. In fact, I think it's unless the boosters really step up. I mean, I just think Arkansas is at a horrible disadvantage in terms of overall talent.
In the last 2 or 3 weeks, you've had Steve Spurrier, who needs no introduction. I mean, what he did at Florida, what he did at Duke, what he did at South Carolina, what he's done in coaching. He kind of took a shot at Arch Manning of, no big deal. Let's see him play. Why didn't he play more last year? You've also had Paul Feinbaum say that Arch Manning is going to be the biggest deal to hit the SEC in a long, long time. Where do you fall on that? Are you with Steve Spurrier or are you with Paul Feinbaum?
Can I split the difference?
Sure you can.
Because I don't think Arch is going to be a disaster by any means. And he didn't say disaster, but I don't think he's going to be a liability by any means, but I don't think he's going to light the world on fire either. I think Texas is going to be very, very good. I mean, that's not a very bold take, but I think they may have the best defense in the conference, and I think they have 2 running backs on their roster that are going to be playing in the NFL before long. So I think it would be wise for them not to force Arch Manning to save the program. They open, of course, at Ohio State, very tricky game. First conference game is at Florida, and I think Florida's going to be much improved. That'll probably be a night game, so that's a tough one. Oklahoma's right after that. I don't look for Arch Manning to light the world on fire because, quite frankly, I don't think he's going to need to. maybe by year 2, he's the best player in the SEC. But I'm gonna reserve judgment. I think he'll be fine, but I don't think he's going to be the best quarterback in the SEC this year.
Michael, the overreaction, and that game's 11 Central at Columbus. By 3 o'clock that afternoon, that game's gone final. The overreaction both ways, to the good if Texas wins it and he puts on a show and lights it up, to the bad if Texas loses and he doesn't have a particularly good game. We have never seen opening weekend overreaction like we're going to see either way with Arch that day.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, because if Texas doesn't win the national championship or if he doesn't win the Heisman Trophy, I think he's going to be viewed as a disappointment, fair or not.
And the headline's going to be, we got another vintage Manning if they win, and then the other headline's going to be, we finally got a dud Manning if he loses.
Yeah, 60 minutes into his career, we're going to judge it one way or another. I mean, that certainly that is going to happen. I don't think that'll be the final word in what he becomes, but yeah, no doubt. I mean, my storyline coming out of there, though, is more going to be, the SEC versus the Big Ten, and who's got bragging rights after that football game. Because if Texas comes out of there a winner, I think the SEC desperately needs that after the last couple years of not winning the national championship for 2 seasons.
So
I mean,
you've heard the last 2 years the Big Ten's won it. You've heard that, right? Because
unfortunately,
they really like
that would ever happen.
The 20 years previous that they don't matter. It's just the last 2 years. And Michael, it's the last 2 years with their 2 biggest brands.
Right, but they both found ways to cheat. So credit to them. I mean, you got to cheat to beat the SEC, but all power to them, I guess.
Yeah, I guess find a way to get it done. Another quarterback that's gotten a lot of headlines this offseason has been South Carolina's Lenora Seller after throwing for over 2,500 yards last season. What do you expect from South Carolina? It feels like we've been kind of waiting for South Carolina to get over that hump. What do you expect from South Carolina this year and Lenora Sellers?
Yeah, Sellers, I think he's the best quarterback in the conference by the end of the year. Wow. He may already be that. I don't think there was a player in the conference that took a bigger step from week 1. South Carolina opened against, I believe it was Old Dominion, and he didn't look good at all. And then they closed it winning at Clemson, which won the ACC, played in the college football playoff. I don't think there's a player that took a bigger leap than Lenore Sellers last year. So if he can continue that progression, I mean, I think he's the closest we've seen to Cam Newton in this conference since Cam Newton won the national championship with Auburn. So, I mean, that's the high regard that I have for Lenore Sellers. Does he have the talent around him? He really helped elevate them last year, but they had some high-end 4 players taken in the top 40 from the last NFL draft. So that's going to be very, very difficult for the Gamecocks to replace. But again, give me that star quarterback. Maybe South Carolina's a team here that reaches the college football playoff by the end of the year.
Would you rather have Lenore Sellers or Cade Klubnik?
Oh, Lenore Sellers all day.
Wow. All right, so maybe this is the year they can get over the hump, maybe make that college football playoff. A team that we talked a lot about last year, a team in this area that had those high hopes of getting to the college football playoff last year, were the Ole Miss Rebels. A couple losses at the end of the season down the stretch kept them out of the CFP. But obviously a new quarterback with the young guy Austin Simmons, who will be the starter this year after Jackson Dart. Some changes on both sides of the ball, but we know that Lane Kiffin goes out there, hits the portal every single year. What do you expect from this Ole Miss team?
I mean, it's hard to see them not taking a step back. Now, maybe the expectations and all the weight of last year, the last dance, that was a foolish marketing gimmick that blew up in their face. Maybe getting away from all that will help the team because people like me kind of write them off. But I still think Lane Kiffin, even though I like to call him Lane Whiffin because he whipped big time, I thought, last year. That there's no excuse for them not to make the college football playoff after seeing them whip Georgia the way they did. I mean, they were clearly one of the best 12 teams in the country, but they didn't get it done. They weren't consistent. I think they'll be solid. I mean, I think this is a new era under Lane Kiffin, but I mean, I'm thinking 8-4, 9-3 is probably the ceiling for me, which that is probably a disappointment for fans in Oxford. But if you were to tell them the day they hired Lane Kiffin, a down season's 9-3, I think they would have signed up for that.
Great point, and you have to remember that too. Always good to remember where you were. But once you start winning, you forget the past really easily. Tennessee, who's going to miss? Will Nico miss the Vols more, or will Vol fans miss Nico more?
I don't think Tennessee fans are going to miss Nico. I mean, that was a strange relationship. That I mean, they were dying to get him on the field, and then I don't know. I think they overhyped him to such an extent.
Sure did.
And that's not to say he was a bad player. He didn't hold them back necessarily, but I don't know. He was just never really a fit up there, and I know they made the college football playoff. Again, that's a credit to him, but I think that's more of a credit to the defense and the running game than anything. But, I mean, I think now he's closer to home, so maybe that means something to him, but I think he's going to be largely irrelevant now that he's playing outside of the SEC.
I'm with you. I thought that defense and riding that running game and the tight end play with Kitzelman, and that's one of the easier all-conference team votes I think is out there for him at tight end in a league that's got a lot of good tight ends. But the lasting image for me of Nico was in that loss at Fayetteville on that last play that regardless of whatever he tried, it probably wasn't going to work. But Michael, he just dipped it out of bounds like, okay, there's nothing there, like he didn't want to throw an interception, throwing it up for grabs.
Yeah, believe it or not, Joe Milton did the same thing against Ole Miss a couple of years previous. So I don't know if that's something Josh Heupel coaches them to do, but they don't want to coach him out of that. But, you know, at the end of the day, that whole Nico saga, it just didn't really make any sense because the whole plan since Nico was committed to Tennessee after his junior year of high school was to go 3 years and go to the NFL. I guess he could still do that after 1 year at UCLA, but you know, I can't imagine he didn't hurt his stock. Even if it's one draft spot, that could cost him tens of millions of dollars for whatever he was chasing this offseason. It just, none of it makes any sense. I think he should have stayed at Tennessee. I think it would have helped his stock, and I think he would have went right to the NFL. It probably would have been a first or second round pick. I think that's highly unlikely that he'll do that at UCLA this year, but maybe the next year if he can have two solid seasons.
All right, Josh Heupel, he's gotten over the Alabama. He's beat Alabama. He's beat Florida. He still hadn't beat Georgia. Can Tennessee and Heupel beat Georgia this year in Knoxville?
No, I don't think there's any shot they can do that.
That's the last frontier for him.
Yeah, that and showing up on the road. They rarely seem to show up on the road and maybe winning a playoff game because that was embarrassing the way they played up at Ohio State.
Yeah, it absolutely was. The story of the SEC last year was Vanderbilt and what they were able to do. 7-6 season. Diego Pavia became a household name. He's back this year after getting his waiver to play an additional season at Vanderbilt. First time last year that Vanderbilt was bowl eligible since 2018. Can they go back-to-back and be bowl eligible again, or do you think we see regression from Vanderbilt?
I think everyone's expecting regression, so I'll go the other way. I think this is going to be a much better Vanderbilt team. No one in the Southeastern Conference returns more on the defensive side of the football and the offensive side of the football. So Vanderbilt's number one in both those categories, and they have now are spending money in the transfer portal even, shore up the offensive line, add some weapons for Diego Pavia at receiver. They've added some nice defensive talent. I think Vanderbilt is going to keep this thing going, and that's not to say they're going to contend for the SEC championship or anything ridiculous like that, but I think 7, maybe even 8 wins in the regular season is not out of the question for this Vanderbilt team.
For them to do that, and last year they had one of the big wins over Alabama. It was at home in Nashville. This year, SEC games in Nashville, it is LSU, Mizzou, Auburn, and Kentucky. Okay, we think they can beat Kentucky. Who's the other one of the three? LSU, Mizzou, or Auburn? They beat at First Bank Stadium.
I think they can beat two of those teams. I mean, they pushed Missouri to overtime last year on the road. I don't think Missouri's as good as they were last year. I think Vanderbilt may be better, so I think that's definitely winnable. And then Diego Papi has never lost to Hugh Freeze. He's 3-0 against Hugh Freeze going back to his time at New Mexico State, and Hugh Freeze was at Liberty. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, I'd be surprised if Auburn won that football game.
Yeah. That's a strong take. So you and Cousin Shane, y'all both going to be there next week, right?
Yes, sir.
Is Cousin Shane going to take a break from not playing in the Open Championship? He's been playing so much golf this summer. Is he going to take a break from playing on tour next week?
If you see me alone at the table, you know that Cousin Shane is hitting a link somewhere.
You know he is.
Absolutely.
Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Can't wait.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Safe travels.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thanks so much for joining us. Michael Bratton, SEC Mike, that SEC podcast.
Strong on Vandy.
I love it. You know, Brett, around here we anchor down. It is one thing that I can promise you is that we anchor down around here. So I loved hearing that. But
they go to Virginia Tech this year. They caught them at home last year.
Sure did. So that's going to be tough, playing Virginia Tech on the road. But, might as well. And I love the idea.
Have to win the other three non-conference.
Got to. Charleston Southern, Georgia State, Utah State. You got to
They were competitive
with
Texas and Tennessee at home last year.
They
up 14-zip on Tennessee.
They sure were.
In a blink of an eye.
And then it all came crashing down.
It did.
But I would just love for Vanderbilt over the last two seasons, when we're looking back on the year in December, to say that the last 2 years Vanderbilt has won the Iron Bowl. I mean, to beat Auburn and Alabama. They did it last year. I mean, they beat both of them last year. They won the Iron Bowl a season ago, but to do it again, you're absolutely right about that. I think you feel pretty good that they could beat Kentucky with what we expect Kentucky to be this year. But you got to win one of those other games at home. LSU, Missouri, Auburn. One of those has to be a win. At least one of them. And so maybe it's Auburn again.
Shoot me straight.
Okay.
Another back-to-back 9-3 for Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. Let's say go to a bowl, win another bowl, 10-3. In your dealings with Ole Miss people and listening to Ole Miss people, do you think they have the perspective to say, remember the day we hired him, we'd be settling for this?
I don't. I thought that was good perspective.
I agree.
From Mike. But I think with what Lane Kiffin has done, what he has shown through recruiting, through the transfer portal, through once getting the guys there and having them show on the field that they're very talented, I think those expectations were raised. And so, I think if it's another season like that, and he said 8-win, 9-win season, if it's one of those, I think it's going to be another very disappointing year for Ole Miss. And I don't think
9 will get you in the playoffs.
No, I don't think so. We've talked about that a lot.
I'm afraid there's going to be so many one-loss teams in the Big 12 and in the ACC.
Yeah.
I don't know how much 2 losses get you.
Man, yeah, you certainly, though, nine losses, it feels like you're probably going to be in that same area you were last year, where you're just sitting there. You don't feel great going into it. You certainly don't feel good after it. So it would definitely be a really tough position.
But who has perspective?
Obviously, SEC Mike does, because that was really good stuff from him about.
But what fan base?
No, nobody.
So few really remember the lean times. You start rolling, and you think that's the new normal.
Well, you can say the same about Memphis fans, and we kind of talk about those kind of correlations and kind of same trajectory between Memphis and Ole Miss. You could easily say, hey man, maybe it's a little disappointing.
Us older fans,
sure,
we remember
absolutely, but we
were talking the other day. Larry Porter 1-11.
Oh man. I tell my buddies all the time when we talk about Memphis football is I remember going to games and going into the game for maybe a quarter and then going back outside, and it was way before the tailgate scene was even what it is now, and just sitting next to somebody's car and just hanging out because it was so bad.
That feeling in 2019 at the Egg Bowl with Elijah Moore leg incident, and I don't know what would happen to overtime if we'd have made the extra point, if Ole Miss had made the extra point.
Yeah.
But I know that night leaving, and I left there, drove to Tuscaloosa to stay, and then that weekend on to the Iron Bowl in Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
I drove from Starkville to Tuscaloosa, down Highway 82, hour 10, hour 20 minutes. So mad, so kind of just deflated. I mean, everything out of me. I didn't even realize I didn't have the radio on. So I parked at the hotel and kind of, going to turn it down. I never turned it on. Just drove kind of in a fugue state.
Yeah, those are the worst.
I remember that feeling. So 9-3, 10-3, that's pretty good. I'm going to have some perspective.
Yeah, it's hard to.
It is.
It's hard to with any team, with any sport, to have perspective like that. But really excited about next week with SEC Media Days. And obviously we're going to have a ton of coverage from there talking about all of these teams in great detail of what's in store for the upcoming season. But we got to get to a break. Before we do that, let me remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsors, Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the new 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, the 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender. Available multiple models to fit your needs, the Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to jaguarbluffcity.com. But head out there, test drive all of these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince, for Bluff City Jaguar. Let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsofMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Georgetown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to base or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef. And she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
I think a lot about golf, and when I think golf, I think Miramichi. Did you know Miramichi Golf Course offers membership? It's a great way to play more golf for less out of pocket. Their memberships run for $300 a month plus tax, and that includes unlimited rounds and range balls, no extra cart fees, priority tee time booking, and discounts in the pro shop. Oh, by the way, there's no initiation fee. Miramichi green fees, they'll allow you to choose the right rate at the right time on the right day for your needs. If morning tee times are more more important, you can book up to 14 days ahead of time to reserve your spot. If rate is more important to you, there are discounted evening rates available that you can choose from.
Miramichi is now open on Mondays, and you'll find the lowest rate is on Thursday.
Sometimes you just need to escape the hustle and bustle of life. Miramichi Golf Course provides just the right place to solve that need. The name Miramichi means place of happy retreat. When you need a quiet, peaceful round of golf, please make your way to Miramichi.
Listen up, sports fans. Your next winning drive is at Landers Ford in Collierville. That's right. The iconic Landers Easy Pass always delivers more for your trade and their biggest discounts on your next winning drive. See it all now at LandersFordMemphis.com. Plus, when you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech who comes right to your driveway with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience Program. They'll pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot. At Landers Ford in Collierville, they have a game plan to find you the most savings possible. You can make a trade and possibly lower your payments. They'll even buy your current vehicle even if you don't buy from them. It's a tradition fans all across the Mid-South love. New Fords and quality pre-owned models are arriving every day. Beat the rush. Go see them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. And now from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that beat #1 ranked Notre Dame, ladies and gentlemen, the final play of the day comes from President of Landers Ford in Collierville, Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
This traffic brought to you by Raleigh Tire Auto Service, your local family-owned business for over 60 years.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Steady flow of traffic over here on this side of town on 240 eastbound from Mill Branch all the way to 385 Billboard Parkway. Starting to really just now pick up going outbound back towards the Collierville area. Heavy over here, no surprise, on 40 east from Sycamore View Road all the way out past Germantown Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, your diamond engagement ring headquarters this bridal season. Stop by and see them at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you as we got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending, a lot trending this afternoon, but something we have not mentioned, Tiger basketball getting a new court for the upcoming season, a more traditional look, a more low-key look.
I liked it.
You know, courts, uniforms, anything more, the more traditional look. Look, I know you have to placate the youngsters and have really what they want to, and I understand that. On any uniform style, any court style, I want the more traditional look. Before somebody texts or says, Brett, what about all the wild Ole Miss football combinations? They're fine. That's what the players want. That's fine. I prefer Ole Miss on the road in a white top, gray pants, whatever helmet, preferably either deep blue or baby blue. At home, red or blue tops, gray pants, same helmet. But the players decide that's fine.
Yeah.
What I prefer, though, and this I get to give my opinion on this on these airwaves. I'm paid to do that. Yeah. That's my opinion on it. And I tell you who else likes the traditional look for the Tigers.
Who's that?
The coach.
Oh, yeah,
and that's why he likes to wear the Memphis State throwbacks.
That's right. No, he definitely loves the throwbacks, and I love the throwback uniforms as well. No, I like the new court a lot. I think it looks really good. I think the thing for me is I think they put out a tweet maybe yesterday about, hey, new look coming. And so then today when they dropped the video and the pictures, I was almost more taken aback by how
the contrast?
Yes, of what we've seen with the last 3 or 4 courts. I was kind of blown away. Then I'm like,
Can I say how bad it was? Or were you thinking that, or how different it was?
How different it was. Some of them were not great. I didn't mind the one they had last year with the kind of claw stripes.
Does it help you win? No. I don't think it sells. I don't think it detracted from a single
definitely
ticket.
Definitely not.
It was like the Razorback fans last year. The fans demanded they wanted the slobber and hog.
That's right, yeah.
They paid the freight.
That's right. I mean,
let's give them what they want.
I don't blame them. That logo is awesome. I don't mind them going. with
And
that.
I don't know that it was fan revolt over the court makeup, but there was consternation.
Sure.
And it wasn't just all us old folks.
No, it definitely wasn't. So it's definitely a new look, and will be a new team out there playing. Speaking of which, tonight, Summer League, we're all going to be circled around our televisions.
We got cash on it, don't
watching, we sure do. We're watching Bronny James and Cooper Flag. I mean, it's going to be like the moon landing, Brett. Everyone's going to be around their televisions, just watching it, taking it all in.
A Jules Verne.
Yeah, you'll be watching.
He was Mr. Science.
Well, that's
Science.
That's exactly right.
NASA expert.
You know who they're going to be watching alongside Cooper Flag tonight? Mr. Cisse.
Okay.
He's with the Mavericks.
Good luck.
He'll be going tonight. Here's a
he
name.
He can make a roster.
He could. He
Maybe
absolutely.
May not be the Mavericks roster.
No.
He could.
He could be in an organization
stick with
somewhere.
someone.
Definitely. Get a two-way somewhere and be a piece.
Can't teach 7 feet.
Can't teach 7 feet. Speaking of 7 feet, Keo Dorici. You remember him from a couple years ago with the Tigers. He is with the Nuggets Summer League team this year and will be going as well. So definitely some good stuff tonight. And speaking of which, Grizzlies PR just putting out some news. They have announced that they have signed Javon Small to a two-way contract, which I think expected going out of the draft that Javon Small would get a two-way with the Grizzlies. But, based on what I saw, I think I watched one full Summer League game for the Grizzlies and then bits and pieces of other Summer League game. Looked good out there. Looked like he could be a part of this system, and certainly getting him on a two-way, having that opportunity to play him a little bit, but also to be able to develop him at the G League level is huge.
We will talk about it because the public demands it. How interested in it, I'm not making any promises. Preseason games are gonna matter.
They definitely will. No, there are some questions on this roster, and who's going to be starters, who are going to be rotation pieces.
I might need to watch with a little more intensity.
Yeah. And now the question is, now that we know Javon Small on a two-way, Meshack, what does he show? Because it was kind of reported
we'll
on
get our
draft
first look
night.
at Cedric Coward.
Yeah, that's hopefully. I hope we see him. But what do they do with Meshack? Because I think it was reported on draft night, day after the draft, that they were going to give him a look, and if he showed promise, if they liked what they saw, that they would give him a two-way, maybe do something with him. So definitely things to watch with this group in Summer League. I think the big question for the Grizzlies, does Jalen Wells play? I read something today, and
should he?
That's the question.
Don't we know what we have in him?
We do. No, I think you know
didn't a
exactly.
year?
I think you know exactly what
really
you have
do
in
it.
him. I don't mind him being on the Summer League team this year. Obviously, coming off an injury.
Yeah, for
let
that,
him get out there and run around a little bit.
But I think enough run from him.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think you saw everything you needed to see in the first year. I saw a story today. It was VSiN, the gambling network out of Vegas. They wrote a story today. I just clicked on it because I was like, this is hilarious. I've got to click on it. Gambling angles for Summer League and future bets for Summer League. And their first futures bet on Summer League was for the Grizzlies to win Summer League this year in Vegas. And they kind of said...
Got to the finals last year.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of said it's, does Wells play? If Wells goes, then...
Doesn't Brent Musburger own VC?
He does, yes. He is...
I think Bruce Marshall's done some stuff with...
I think he has. That doesn't surprise me at all. But, Jalen Wells, Cam Spencer, G.G. Jackson, with that group of guys in Summer League, it's a good group to have. So maybe we
don't
see
we
them win
know what we have in G.G. Jackson? Haven't we seen enough?
Yeah,
we don't
think
need
so.
Any more Summer League stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think the question would be is, we were saying the same thing last year, and obviously injuries happened after Summer League last year that I think messed him up. And so I think the thing is, seeing him more off ball, seeing him as more of a spot up shooter and not having the ball in his hands, seeing how he moves,
seeing how he acts when he's not in.
Yeah, no, definitely. And so I think those are all
time.
Yeah, those are all questions to ask about him. So I think we probably see a little more run from GG, but it might be a game or two and then shut him down. I would not be surprised with Jalen Wells if we don't see him at all in Vegas.
You don't have to have the full retirement wagered on tonight's
No,
Summer League props.
Absolutely not. I don't. I have just a couple dollars on each, which is good. Except I'm hearing we're talking during the break. I might be in on betting on the on the Tour de France tomorrow.
Yeah.
Plus money on a guy. I don't know if I can pronounce his name, but
You have to make you a little cash.
I might throw down, but it's very early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if.
Are you seeing the Marvin Bagley news?
Yeah, I saw that earlier. So he will not be back. I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. Happened about, I think it was at the top of the hour when we were talking with Michael Bratton.
I don't think many people thought he'd be back.
No, it was kind of that question. I think when the injury happened with Zach Edey, I think there was that possibility out there of maybe you bring him back, another 1-year deal, just kind of to have somebody down there. But Shams Charania reporting a 1-year deal for him with Washington. I think we'll have a bigger opportunity there to be a rotation piece, come off the bench, and maybe do something more of an opportunity than he would have had here.
Remember when he was can't miss?
Oh yeah, I mean It's been a wild ride for Marvin Bagley, and going back to Washington, and I loved. We talked with Keith earlier, and he kind of said what Washington is doing of maybe taking some bad expiring contracts and freeing up a lot of money, maybe stacking some assets and getting a bunch of young players. They're going to be a fun team to watch. They might not be a team that can, do much this year, but they've got a lot of really fun young players. But now adding Marvin Bagley, that gives them a little bit of depth behind Alex Sarr on that bench that maybe they can bring in and do some stuff with.
Yeah, they're a long way from being in the thick of things.
No, definitely. They definitely are. But maybe they could, maybe this year or next year, could maybe be in that, play-in territory and maybe make a little bit of noise, not much. But they will be a fun team to watch.
Are the Grizzlies a little bit in the cardinal spot of being in a tough spot?
I think so. I was a little surprised when I saw that 40.5 win total, and didn't make me feel good. I think I saw that was like 7 or 8 games down
Landon,
from
I talked about
last
it the other
year.
Day.
Yeah, I mean
that's way down from last year.
It's that's a
even if you go over by 1 or 2, that gets you nothing.
No, I mean I don't have it in front of me, but what teams were in that range this year in the Western Conference? I mean
that's close. That
couldn't have been
not
great.
many down there.
Let's see.
New Orleans under it.
Yeah,
well under it.
Sacramento got in the play-in with 40 wins this year. Dallas got in with 39 this year. So you're
I don't know 40 and 41 gets you much.
You're barely scratching play-in if that. So it's not a good spot to have that total. But we'll see what they can do.
But that can go up when Vegas sees some guys in preseason games.
Sure, yeah, and that's gonna. I mean, look, we're talking about summer league and these guys. We're a long way from the season.
And a little
started.
Rosie or maybe an earlier Edey return.
Yeah, and that I loved what Keith Smith said about that. Is a big reason that this is 40.5 is because you don't know when Jaren Jackson's going to be back. You don't know when Zach Edey's going to be back. I mean, you're missing 2 guys that are going to be starters for you to begin the season, so it could be rocky.
I'm gonna refrain on Grizzlies freak out in July.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it either. But we need to get.
I freaked enough in April.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, we freaked enough at the end of the season, and we need a little cool down time, I think, before we even get close to training camp. And first, before I even want to do win totals, let me see a schedule first. I mean, let me see how it sets up.
A final roster.
Yeah. Let me finalize some things. Give me Rob Fisher's season breakdown, schedule breakdown, and then I'll give
That's
you.
when we freak out.
Yeah, then I'll freak out and start doing totals. But before we get to our final break of the day, let me remind you, perfect opportunity this weekend to head down to Olive Branch and check out Frontier Western Store, located at 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch. They're your one-stop shop for all of the biggest brands in Western wear, and they've been that since they were family-owned and operated and opened in 1967. It's a perfect place to head down there to get really just about anything, but they're the one-stop shop for the boots, and you can check them all out in the world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with all of their in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dan Post, and Durango. Frontier is also the one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, anything you could possibly be looking for, Frontier Western has it. But if you're in the market for a new pair of jeans, stop in to Frontier Western. They've got all the brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler. You'll love how easy it is to find the perfect style and size for you. At Frontier Western, their pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Well, let's get to our final break, and when we return, we'll wrap things up with Moe's Crunch Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us. We can't wait to serve you.
Congratulations to Napa Cafe, celebrating 27 years of great food and service for you. Napa Cafe. Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Newsflash, Family Leisure needs your help. Family Leisure has a warehouse full of inventory, and they need it cleaned out. Do your part to make room for new items, and you get great deals on almost everything. Listen up. All in-stock patio furniture, it's up to 80% off. You can get a 4-piece deep seating set for under $1,000. Chaise lounges. You buy one, and you're going to need another, and that other one will be 1/2 off. All Pollywood furniture. It's now 20 to 30% off. You buy any dining table, you're going to get an umbrella absolutely free, and they're not cheap. Now, is financing available? You better believe it. Special financing is a go. To sum it all up, Family Leisure has got to clear out its warehouse inventory, which means you're going to rack up the savings. Help Family Leisure clear out the warehouse. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together to clean out the warehouse.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors at 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake. Also stores in Cleveland, Mississippi and Little Rock. They specialize in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds. Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-913-7883 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. Fancy water bottle with hose. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you can save for water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jenny Nash a call at 901-606-3172. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco Crunch Time emergencies.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Jacobs.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest Crunch Time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskell.
It's obviously Crunch Time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco Crunch Time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today, Rocco Miller tweeted it out about an hour ago, that Alabama and South Florida have finalized a 3-year basketball series beginning in Tuscaloosa on December 17th. The series will move to the Yuengling Center in December of 2026 and back to Coleman Coliseum in 2027 per multiple sources. So a big get for South Florida to get Alabama on their non-conference schedule. Obviously, we know Brian Hodgson and the time he spent at Alabama with Nate Oates, a good relationship between them. So a fun non-conference schedule to keep an eye on around the American. See, we talked so much last year about how all these teams had D3 and D2 teams on their schedule. Well, now we see South Florida going out there and getting an SEC team on their non-con.
David Cobb really likes what South Florida's doing.
Absolutely.
Talked about it a lot on Monday. What I learned, Devin Booker got paid, part of the big payday for a lot of people in the NBA, well-deserved, $145 million in Phoenix. They're going nowhere with him over the next couple of years. Jordan Ott really has his work cut out for him. Jordan Ott's the new coach of Phoenix, if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
Grizzlies and Phoenix could be the battle for the 10 seed.
Yeah, no, it definitely could be, which would be very, very weird. What I could have done without it has got to be all this amount of money that people are spending to go to the Summer League game tonight between the Lakers and the Mavericks. I get it.
You got them, smoke them.
I guess so, you know. I mean, there are going to be people that just want to be there so they can say, I watched the first game of Cooper Flag as a Maverick, but I don't know. It just seems like a lot of money to be spending on a Summer League game.
I think the economy's really good if you can do that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I could do without the Cardinals last night, and I had that feeling after every loss with the deadline approaching. Trade everybody. Cardinals aren't close. Crowds are already terrible. So you're not going to tank the crowds any more than they are. Announced last night, 29,506. No way. Maybe 13,000 in the ballpark.
Yeah, Brett, thankfully, by the time I was to a place where I could pull the game up and watch it, they were already down like 4 or 5 runs. So I said, there's no point in me turning this on and watching it. So I didn't have to watch that last night.
When Fetty's bad and Palante's bad and Michaelis is bad, that's 3 out of 5 starters. It's bad.
Yeah, it's not good. That's not a recipe for success.
60% of your staff.
Yeah, it's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, where are you being tonight?
Seattle at Yankees. Brian Wu, the right-hander for Seattle, against Marcus Stroman. Stroman only 19 innings pitched this year and a lusty 7.45 ERA.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game to keep an eye on. But you know where I'm beaming. I might not spend money to go watch Summer League, but I'll beam there. Lakers and Dallas. So, yeah, I got a couple of prop bets out there. We've got Cooper Flag over 20 points. We've got Bronny James under 9.5 points. So we'll see how it all falls out here in a couple of hours on ESPN.
We'll watch the end of the Met-Oriole doubleheader, long day of baseball in Baltimore, Washington at St. Louis, Tampa Bay at Fenway against the Red Sox, and Arizona. They're in that tough spot like the Cardinals. They're at San Diego.
Orioles up 6-3 right now over the Mets, so they're looking for the sweep
Brooms
of
out.
the doubleheader. Yeah, small brooms for a doubleheader sweep. I would say no. Yeah, I don't think you're pulling out the big brooms for a regular season doubleheader sweep. But yeah, a lot of good baseball to keep an eye on tonight. Obviously, Summer League going on. Cooper Flagg making his Summer League debut for the Dallas Mavericks. I know a lot of eyes will be on that as well. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.